ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tilé tó kó ẹ̀mí àpọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan wọn Adéyẹmọ Sunday Adéníyì Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí ara orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bó lórúkọ gan. ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sọ torí pé wòrà a kò lè fojú dégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá pẹ̀lá wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan ọ̀wọ́n ẹ̀rín ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan lè ṣe wà lọ́nà mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ àtìmọ̀ṣọ́ kan ká lè débi ire ẹgbẹ́ àjọgbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nínú alágbàdo òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ lèdèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà rẹ̀ràn bàbá yín láàrin yìí omi kò sí náà nǹkan sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ṣe yí dágbàdàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òkúpó sọ́ràn ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ tẹ̀sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho á fi kọ̀kọ̀ pọ̀ sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ á fi ṣẹ̀rù wálé wàrà gbòdì ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjèjì tó ń ṣẹṣẹ dédé tọ́láwọn oníbomi kò sí mu wọ́n láwọn oníbomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú obìnrin kọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kò sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé ránṣẹ́ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onílé rẹ̀ láéláé torí àbálásán nìkan dá òkúta òṣèṣe fún wọn ìmọ̀ràn lásán ní ti balùwẹ̀ ó pọ́ sí sí kòtòdò láyé yìí ó kù díẹ̀ títọ́ domi káyíláyé ìtọ́ nílé domi. Sunday Igboho arógun mátì tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá nílé tó kó.
Gbogbo àwọn ìgbọ̀n tó ń bẹ lókè òkun ò lè wálé ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n kọ́mọ̀ jí wọn gbé gbogbo express ọ̀nà Èkó ń bí káàkiri ọ̀nà Oǹdó Èkìtì káàkiri gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá Fúlàní jí wa gbé wọn pa wá so ìdí nìta fi rò pé ọbẹ̀ tàkà wọ ọ̀dọ́ ká jáde fúnra ká fáìtì ẹ̀tọ́ wa ká béèrè right wa lọ́wọ́ àkókò yìí so ìdí nìyẹn tí mo fi ń ṣe pé ẹni Fúlàní ẹ̀sìn ajínigbé ni ó kò lórí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Igangan báyìí ṣé ẹ lè sọ pé peace ti padà síbẹ̀ báyìí.
Àlàáfíà ti wà ní gẹ́gẹ́ àwọn ará gàngán ń confirm ẹ̀pá àlàáfíà ti wà so kéde ẹ̀sìn bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan mo sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ síwájú pé kì í ṣe ìgàngán nìkan ni àjẹ kára gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá lápapọ̀ láti máa béèrè ẹ jẹ́ ká dúpẹ́ lọ́lọ́ ká dúpẹ́ lọ gọ́fìnà Ògùn state náà fúnra wọn náà sọ pé àwọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ wọ́n fi hàn pé àwọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn tí àwọn ń ṣèjọba lé lórí because tí gọ́fìnà bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù tó ń ṣèjọba lé lórí Ògùn state kò ní gbà wá láì pé káwá fèsì àwọn Fúlàní ẹ̀sìn mẹ́rin náà so fúnra ìjọba ló sọ pé ó ti tó gẹ́ fáwọn Fúlàní ẹ̀sìn mẹ́rin torí pé àwọn tóun ń ṣèjọba lé lórí lẹ̀ ń pa so ìdí ni ìtàfi wá sóògùn state lé ní.
ṣé táwọn pàdé ẹ ti ní gómìnà báyìí.
mi ì tí ì rí wọn but èmi wò pé ibi tójú ìjà bá wà lẹ́ka kọ́kọ́ lọ tàbá lé àwọn Fúlàní tàbá lé tán a máa padà lọ bájọba láti kí wọn.
àtẹwọ́.
a lọ sí yewa láti lọ báyìí torí pé a rí pé ibẹ̀ gangan ni àwọn Fúlàní ajínigbé yìí ni wọ́n ti ń ṣe jàǹbá fáwọn ọmọ Ògùn state púpọ̀ jù so ibẹ̀ gangan là ń lọ sí báyìí.
a gbọ́ pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wọ́n ń gbàgbọ́dé fún ṣóòtọ́ ni àbí ẹ rí support látọ̀mọ́ Yorùbá.
èmi ò tí ì rí Yorùbá kankan tí mo lè sọ pé gbàgbọ́dé ṣe ti understand because gbogbo Yorùbá ló dìde ìjà tá ń jà ìjà gbogbo Yorùbá ni ẹ lè rí pé àti mùsùlùmí àti Christian gbogbo ẹnìbọn ní ń jà kì í ṣe pé jà Ìgbòho nìkan gbogbo wa là ń jà gbogbo Yorùbá ló ń jà kì í ṣe pé Yorùbá kan ń gbé àbọ̀dẹ̀ fẹ́ nìkan kan káàdẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́gbọ̀ àwọn tó wà ní diaspora rí gbogbo ọ̀nà dìde tán so gbogbo àwọn ọba náà ti dìde gbogbo àwọn ọba ti dìde everybody ti dìde kò sí pé bóyá Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò náà dìde ó ń bínú so gbogbo àlà ń bínú papọ̀ kì í ṣe pé Yorùbá kan ń gbàbọ̀dẹ̀ so ìjà tá ń jà ìjà gbogbo Yorùbá ni ọ̀dẹ̀ ti jókòó ẹ̀ náà kò sẹ́ náà.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Impediment to Yoruba development is the impediment to Yoruba development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1960, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The process of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
So what do they expect of us now that this war is on our doorstep? Of course, there has got to be civil mobilization. And if we keep waiting for this to be centrally handled, we're all going to become, if we're not already slaves in our land. That to me is personally intolerable. It's not an acceptable condition. And whatever it takes, I stand ready to contribute in any way.
Again. No going back. Igboho Òòṣà. Iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ tẹ̀síwájú. Mr. Koiki ẹ ṣé o, àwọn ọmọ mi ló kí o. Àwọn ọmọ mi ló kí o. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, a máa dé dèrè o lórúkọ Jésù. Yorùbá nation.
Now we have faced such level of oppression in our land, such level of frustration in our land, such level of suppression, where in one segment of the nation, blood will flow like water, killings and killers will arrive, level a whole village overnight. In some cases, they will own up that they are the ones who did it for the sake of whatever reason they claim. Nobody is arrested, nobody is prosecuted, nothing happens, no consequence. In another part of the country, probably the southwest or south or southeast, some people come out for demonstration, and before you know it, people are leveled to the ground. People are arrested. All right? So there is one law for one part and one law for another part. That is the situation we have faced so far, the situation of injustice and inequality. Now you look at the situation with appointments and positionings, and it will appear to you as if intelligent people don't exist in no other part of the country apart from some parts of the country. We have a multi-ethnic country, we have a multilingual country, we have a multi-religious country with two dominant religious bodies in the nation. But if you look at sensitive positions, whether it's in the executive, in the judiciary, in the legislative, in the military or paramilitary, it appears as if there are no people in any other part of the country. Take a look at this. You have President Northwest Muslim, you have Senate President Northeast Muslim, you have INEC chairperson, Northwest Muslim, you have Speaker of the House of Representatives, Southwest Muslim, you have Chief of Air Staff, Northeast Muslim, Minister of Defense, Muslim North, Chief of Army Staff, Northeast Muslim, Inspector General of Police, North Central Muslim, National Security Advisor, Northeast Muslim, Director, National Intelligence Agency, Muslim North, Director General, SSS, Northwest Muslim, Controller General of Immigration, Northwest Muslim, Controller General of Customs, North Muslim, Controller General of Civil Defense, Muslim North, Controller General of Nigeria Immigration Prison Service, Muslim North, Acting Chairman of EFCC, Northeast Muslim, Chief Justice of the Federation, Northeast Muslim, Code of Conduct Head, Muslim, Northeast, Managing Director, Post Authority, Northwest Muslim, NIMASA, North Muslim, NNPC Managing Director, Northeast Muslim, Minister of Education, Northeast Muslim, National Universities Commission, Northwest Muslim, JAMB, Southwest Muslim, and so on and so forth. We can keep on going on and on. Someone has said that the top 20 positionings in NNPC is occupied from the same region as well. What comes to mind is there is no intelligent person and no qualified person from any other part of the country. There is no intelligent Shekiri person, no intelligent Ijo person, no intelligent Biron person, no intelligent Magavul person, no intelligent Tif person, no intelligent Idoma person, no intelligent Igala person, no intelligent Ibira person, no intelligent Ibibio person, no intelligent Anam person, no intelligent Efik person, no intelligent Ishan person, no intelligent Bini person, no intelligent person from no other part of the country that can be in any of those sensitive positions, except people from one region and one religion. And people are meant to be forced to exist in peace under that kind of upside down, highly nepotistic, clanistic situation. And that is absolutely impossible. If it was a charm, it cleared. If it was a mentality, bankruptcy mentality is returned. It's impossible. There can be no peace in such level of inequality, in such level of brazen effrontery are taking a whole nation for granted. Nations of the world did not experience one over 100 of what Nigerians have experienced and scattered in pieces. Soviet Union is nowhere to be found. Yugoslavia was one country that scattered and splintered into 8 countries out of one country. Czechoslovakia splitted into 2. They didn't see 1 over 100 of what we are seeing. Nations in the world that are wise enough, that are multi-ethnic, did their best. The United Kingdom, even though it's a nation, has ethnic groups that took care of the ethnic groups and gave regional autonomy to the Scottish, to the Irish, and the Welsh. Switzerland has 4 ethnic groups, and they make their presidencies sit to revolve around these 4 groups. What is the solution to the situation in our land today? If there must be peace, there must be equity, there must be fairness, there must be justice. People have clamored for restructuring. It is the devolution of power. Otherwise, there may be the dissolution of union. It happened in other places. And we pray and trust God that it doesn't happen in our nation. It's not time to play the ostrich and hide the head under. What is not confronted cannot be conquered. In medicine, we call something the debridement of wounds. You expose wounds in order to repair them. You clean them out in order to repair them. You make them bleed. Truth is what heals. And if truth is not spoken, healing doesn't happen. And it is time to tell the truth. People have been suppressed, subdued, subjugated, and treated second-rated as if they don't have sense and they don't have reasoning. And this nation is one of the most intelligent nations in the world. Our doctors, our professionals are the most intelligent around the nations of the world. Nigerians and Nigeria people have the highest rate of PhDs in America of any ethnic group apart from maybe Americans themselves. And it is time for us to sit up and say these things must be corrected and do the right thing, and we do the right thing on time so that Jehovah can hear us and answer our prayers.
Again. No going back. Ìgbòho òòṣà, iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ń tẹ̀síwájú. Mr. Koiki ẹ ṣé o, àwọn ọmọ mi ló ń kí yín o. Àwọn ọmọ mi ló ń kí yín o. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, a máa délẹ̀ lérí o lórúkọ Jésù. Yorùbá nation.
And a very good evening and welcome to the live transmission. This is KOKIMEDIA Live, and it is what it is. Coming up to 20 minutes past or 20 minutes before 11 p.m. It is called the Late Night Conversation. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí fún ọjọ́ ìsinmi ẹ̀ní. Koiki náà ni kò pé méjì níbi tí a ti ń fi platform wa fi educate ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nípa ìdí tí òmìnira Yorùbá kí àwa ìran ọmọ aládé kí a kúrò nínú oko ẹrú, but a lè kúrò nínú oko ẹrú because a ní obstacle kan tí ó ń dá wa dúró. Obstacle náà ni a fi ṣe ètò lálẹ́ yìí. Bí ẹ bá wo àkọlé ètò talẹ́ yìí, ẹ rí i pé a fẹ́ dá lórí àwọn politician wa tí a mọ̀ sí the Yoruba politician. Mo kí ti bàbá wa Elédùmarè tí ó dá wa sí, kò ń ṣe pé àwa la máa kọ́kọ́ pariwo pé Nàìjíríà ò dáa. Wọ́n ti ń sọ pé Nàìjíríà ò dáa nítorí pé àwọn òyìnbó tó kó gbogbo ẹ̀ papọ̀ wọ́n mọ̀ pé ìkà ni wọ́n ṣe fún gbogbo wa. Lẹ́ni the internal crisis tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nínú Nàìjíríà, ṣé tí ìjọba náà bá tẹ̀ tún yí padà, ẹ rí i pé bàbá pásítọ̀ tó sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn ó ní gbogbo agbára pátápátá ó wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn kan. Ṣé tíjọba náà bá tún change padà á tún lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn kan títí fún ọdún 7 àbọ̀dún 8 àbọ̀dún 4? ṣé a tún padà sí rollover àbí ó máa padà sí true federalism or regional government or a full decommission of the 1999 constitution. So lótìtọ́ gbogbo àwọn Yorùbá politician ni wọ́n ń fi àwọn èèyàn wa lọ́kàn balẹ̀ pé kọ́ má wọ́rì ìjọba tí ó fẹ́ wọlé dé yìí ìjọba tó máa rọ̀ wá lọ́rùn ni. Wọ́n sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà nígbà tí Buhari máa dé gbogbo ẹ̀ náà la máa fi ṣàlàyé lálẹ́ yìí. Mo wá kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò níbi tí olúkálukú wà. Ìlú ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ la wà. London ni èmi fi ṣe ibùdé tí mo wà tí mo ti ń gbé ètò yìí wá. Lẹ́yìn ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì àwọn ọmọ ń padà lọ sí school lọ́la, so ohun yẹn ò ní lọ sókè púpọ̀ ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ nítorí pé ariwo ta ti fi disturb wọn fún ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì nígbà tó bá ti wà lórí bẹ́ẹ̀dì tí school wà lọ́la ó ti di dandan pé ariwo yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ. A ní fídíò púpọ̀ tá a máa play nínú program yìí, but a máa kàn ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ sísọ ni. Mo wá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí gbogbo ibi tó ń pè ní ìran ọmọ Yorùbá. Ìran ọmọ Yorùbá a wà káàkiri títí délé Haúsá, kódà a wà ní Georgia torí pé mo mọ̀ pé a wà ní Baghdad, a wà ní gbogbo African countries. Elédùmarè fún wa ní ohun tó jẹ́ tiwa. Bí àbá tẹ̀ lọ sí Mẹ́kà lọ jòkó fún àṣetánì, àwa náà ní àwọn tí a lè jòkó fún níbi tí a ti ń ṣe ìṣẹ̀ṣe wa. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ mọ̀ pé ìṣẹ̀ṣe làgbà, kò mí pé bíyàn bá ní mùsùlùmí lòun àbí kìrìsìtẹ́nì. Gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀sìn méjèèjì yẹn kọ́ nìkan ni ẹ̀sìn tó wà lágbàáyé. Mo rí bàbá confam tí wọ́n gbé fídíò kan sórí péjì wọn bí àwọn ará Indian bíyàn bá kú ní ìlú Indian wọ́n máa ń súnyàn ni. Bí ìyàn bá kú ní bí ọmọ mùsùlùmí bá kú lénìí lọ́mọ kékeré lágbàlagbà tó bá ti jẹ́ pé ìlànà mùsùlùmí ni wọ́n ń tọ̀, ó ti di dandan pé bó bá jáde láyé lálẹ́ yìí tó bá máa fi di aago 2 ọ̀la wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ kírun sí ní kíákíá kó lè jẹ́ kó máa lọ. Kódà ìyẹn máa ń fẹ́ fa wàhálà fún àwọn mùsùlùmí tó ń bẹ nílùú yìí, especially àwọn Pakistan. Wọn kì í fẹ́ jẹ́ kí wọ́n tọwọ́ bọ ara òkú yẹn tí èèyàn bá ti kú torí pé wọ́n bìlí pé òkú yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ wọlẹ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Ó yàtọ̀ bí ó bá jẹ́ kìrìsìtẹ́nì sì lè gbé pamọ́ sínú ìyìnrín láti jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí dé wá dájọ́ wá sin òkú yẹn. Bó bá ń jàjà ẹ̀sìn ó kàn ń waste time ara ẹ torí pé ìjẹ̀sìn kan lè mí gbé dání. Bó bá ń wọ̀n bá má ṣẹ̀sìn kò mátà, ó bá ṣẹ̀sìn kò ṣe kankan. But n tí a ní fi ṣe àwàdà mọ́ fún àwa kan òun ni pé n tí Elédùmarè tá a bá lọ́wọ́ àwọn bàbá ńlá wa ó ti di dandan pé ká máa lò ó. Bàbá dẹ̀ ṣe ń lò á máa jẹ́ fún ẹni tó bá ń lò ó. Ó lè má tẹ́wọ́ lọ́rùn. Gbogbo ìgbà ni mò ń gbọ́ àwọn oríṣiríṣi prophecy tí wọ́n máa ń fẹ́ fẹnu ko àwa tí a jẹ́ ọmọ aládé pé èyí tá a gbé dání yẹn kinní kan in tó bá ń wọ̀n ni wọ́n lè gbé dání. Mo rí bàbá àlùfáà kan, mo ní dárúkọ wọn lórí pé àbùrọ̀ dárúkọ ni á dàbí ìgbà tí èèyàn kàn ń pè wọ́n sí àkíyèsí. Àwọn ọmọ wọn níbí báyìí ni wọ́n ti ń kàwé, àgbàfáà ni. Kódà ó sì wà nínú program kan tí wọ́n ṣe ní state ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní àìpẹ́ yìí tí mo rí. Ọmọ wọn kan ṣe graduate tó jẹ́ ọmọbìnrin. Màá wá máa béèrè pé ṣé nínú ìlú yìí náà ṣá ni ọmọ yẹn ti graduate, nítorí pé nínú kíláàsì tọmọ yẹn máa wà oríṣiríṣi èèyàn ló máa wà níbẹ̀. Kódà tí mo bá break it down, ẹni tí kò gbẹ̀sìn máa wà níbẹ̀, ẹni tó jẹ́ lesbian máa wà níbẹ̀, ẹni tó jẹ́ gay máa wà níbẹ̀, ẹni tó jẹ́ kristẹni, ẹni tó jẹ́ Hindu, Buddhist, gbogbo wọn dẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ máa ṣe coursework lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan torí pé teacher ọ̀fẹ́ sọ pé ọmọ àfáà àgbà ni ní ìkan nínú àwọn ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, a gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kó wá súnmọ́ àwọn tí kò kì í ṣe lẹ́sìn tiẹ̀. Àmọ́ àwọn Yorùbá tó wà nílé tí wọ́n ní làákàyè tí ọpọlọ wọn ti yòrò, àwọn rò pé ẹ̀sìn tó gbé dání tó fi para wọn fún yẹn. Àwọn àfáà yẹn gan ti jágbọ́n sí àwọn ọmọ wọn pé táwọn ọmọ wọn bá kàwé dáadáa kó má jẹ́ pé tẹ̀sùbá ni wọ́n á máa fà títí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lórí pẹ̀lú àwọn ti kìrìsìtẹ́nì. so ìwọ tó wá fẹ́ jàjà ẹ̀sìn kí ló fẹ́ máa parẹ́ fún mùsùlùmí kọ́ là ń ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá a thousand of years ago kìrìsìtẹ́nì kọ́ là ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ti distort gbogbo tá a bá lọ ka ìtàn Bishop Ajayi Crowther a ti rí bí manipulation yẹn kò ń ṣe ní ló ti dé àmọ́ àwọn tó manipulate àwọn èèyàn wa náà nísìn òun làwọn olóṣèlú wa mo wá sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé màá ní sàlámù aleikum fún gbogbo àwọn mùsùlùmí mo kí dáadáa a kú Ramadan tí ó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ó ti ń kásẹ̀ lẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì kò dìgbà tá a bá lọ Jerusalem kò dẹ̀ dìgbà tá a bá lọ Mecca ẹlòmíì ò lọ ìwọ tó ń sọ pé béèyàn kan bá kú kò ní wọ ọ̀run ìwọ débẹ̀ rí ṣé ìwọ ti débẹ̀ o mọ tán ṣe lọ́hùn ilé ayé ni ká tẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ lé ká jẹ́ kí ìwà wa kó dáa kí a dẹ̀ lè sọ pé èmi náà gbìyànjú ṣé ìwà tí àwọn olóṣèlú ń ṣe fún wa ṣé ìwà dáadáa ni mo rí ẹni tó jẹ́ rẹ́ktọ̀ ní Adamawa mùsùlùmí ni bẹ́ẹ̀ bá rí orí ẹ̀ gbogbo ìdúdúdú báyìí ó ti wà lórí ẹ̀ ó gba 2 billion ó ti dàbò rú ara ń tẹ́fẹ́ máa ṣe náà nìyẹn nínú Nàìjíríà ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún yín pé ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn ọ̀tọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ pé ayé wa máa da gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìran ọmọ aládé òun là ń sáré ẹ̀ àwọn nǹkan ní orí olókun kinní kan ṣẹ́rí gbogbo yẹn ẹ lè máa fabricate fáwọn tó wà nílé àwa ti kọjá stage yẹn àti kọjá stage pé ẹ mọ̀ pé nígbà táì tí sí ní ìta tójú wa náà dúdú ìyẹn la máa ń rò pé àṣé bí nǹkan ṣe bọ̀ nígbà tá a ti jáde la wá realize pé fàbú ní gbogbo ẹ̀ irọ́ ni torí pé ìwọ tó ń jàjà ẹ̀sìn tí o máa sọ pé àwọn Buddhist wọ́n ń bá Elédùmarè kan sọ̀rọ̀ tí ó wọ́n ló máa sọ pé ẹni tó jẹ́ Buddhist lálẹ́ àbí ẹni tó jẹ́ Hindu kò ní dé ibi tí ó máa dé ẹni tí Elédùmarè fún wa àgbà yẹn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ but àwọn kan mú lò gbogbo wa wá ń sáré ibẹ̀ náà la máa rí pásítọ̀ ó dà pé mo rí yẹn lórí prógrámù Oríyọmí Hamzat kan tí wọ́n ní bàbá pásítọ̀ kan ó kì í bọ̀rọ̀ kì fún ìyàwó kan wọ́n ti wá lọ́lúkálukú ti lọ ìyàwó yẹn wá tí ì sọ pé pásítọ̀ yẹn ló bí ọmọ yẹn nínú Nàìjíríà nínú nílẹ̀ Yorùbá náà ni so ìyẹn ò wá ní pé àwọn ọ̀kan bí ń bá Ọlọ́run sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ọ̀dẹ̀ ń sọ pé àwọn kan ní bó ṣe ń connect ẹ̀mí wọn sórí wọ́n pe kinní kan ní ẹ̀mí yẹn gangan òun rá máa sọ fún ẹ pé oya tó bá ti lè control ẹ̀ wà débi tó ń lọ gbogbo eré táwọn tó ń lọ sí space ń sá àwa ń fi ẹ̀mí connect pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ni àwọn òyìnbó dẹ̀ mọ̀ nítorí pé tí Elédùmarè gbélé olúkálukú lọ́wọ́ ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni àmọ́ wọ́n ò fẹ́ jẹ́ kí gbogbo àjọ ṣayé yìí èyàn làwọn ṣe fẹ́ dàbí tó ń pera wọn ní super power kí ló ń pè ní super power wọ́n ń sáré gbogbo agbára tó dẹ̀ ń sá náà gbogbo agbára tó ń sá gbogbo àti Amẹ́ríkà ni àti Russia ni tí asteroid kan bá jábọ́ látòkè nísìn ó máa destroy gbogbo ayé yìí just one small asteroid tó jù báyìí lọ tó bá kanlẹ̀ báyìí pẹ́m nǹkan pè ní ayé tá a wà yìí á kọ̀ destroy ẹ̀ ní gbogbo wa pátápátá olúkálukú lọ dànù ìyẹn lọ́ ṣe máa ń sọ pé má máa gbá gbogbo jágbàjàgbá tá máa sọ pé ayé máa parẹ́ máa gbé jágbàjàgbá ẹ̀ dánú sẹ́gbẹ́ ayé wo ló ń parẹ́ ayé kankan lè parẹ́ àmọ́ ìwọ ṣe dáadáa nínú ayé yẹn kò ń ṣe irú bàbá tó kú tí wọ́n ń ṣe fìdáwẹ̀ ní èmi bàbá tí ó jẹ́ former chief justice àbí kinní kan Ajíbọ́lá tọ́nú ra transformer ìyẹn ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń tọrọ ayé fún yẹn pé àbí ẹ̀ ń tọrọ ọ̀run fún ẹni tí gbà pé wọ́n ní kó tó kú transformer tó rà ó náà fi connect ẹ̀ sínú ilé òun nìkan ó dẹ̀ kú nísìnyí wà ní ó lọ àlùjọ náà and so many of that pẹ̀lú irú bàbá MK Abiola èyí tó ṣe ló ń lọ yẹn but intan sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ni pé torí intan pariwo pa pé dá dúró ó yàtọ̀ sí ẹ̀sìn ẹ̀sìn yẹn jẹ́ àṣà kọ́kọ́ gbésẹ̀gbẹ̀ ìwọ máa bá Ọlọ́run sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn kan ní Kóìkì Ọlọ́run náà ló máa ṣe èmi ò dispute ẹ̀ but àwa ti mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run ò ní sọ̀kalẹ̀ báwa fúnra wa gan ọba ṣe nítorí ẹ̀ka ṣe but àwọn kan ń dá dúró àwọn tó ń dá dúró yẹn la fi sọ̀rọ̀ ní lórí lálẹ́ mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò mo kí bàbá lálùbáríkà òkúkú ṣọ̀hún nìkan ní àgbàlagbà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá àgbàlagbà míì nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lálẹ́ yìí nísìn a lè tọ́ka sí mọ́pá àgbàlagbà ni ṣàgbàlagbà ni Bọ̀dé George ṣàgbàlagbà ni tatúlówà ń bẹ̀ nù wọn pọ́pọ̀ àtàwọn tá a lè rántí àtàwọn tá a lè rántí Ọ̀ṣọ́bà and so many of them like that ìgbà tẹ́ máa rí wọn ni pé bíyàn bá kú nísìn gbogbo wọn máa gather together wá jókòó wá ya picture wá upload wá sọ̀rọ̀ díẹ̀ lé lórí olúkàlùkù wọn túká èyí tí gbogbo wọn dẹ̀ ń ṣe ni pé wọ́n lo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá láti fi survive àmọ́ the next generation wọ́n struggle láti survive bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá báyìí à ń struggle láti lè survive àwọn kan ní mo ṣe gbọ́ pásítọ̀ kan tán náà nísìnyí ó ní ṣebí gbogbo àṣẹ complain yẹn pé Buhari then after 8 years ṣé èèyàn kan máa sọ pé òun survive nínú gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì Buhari lótìtọ́ a survive torí pé ìwọ tó bá survive 8 years Buhari o tún wá ń sọ pé kò sí hellfire a survive 8 years Buhari ìdí tí a dẹ̀ ṣe survive 8 years Buhari kò ju pé Buhari fúnra rẹ̀ òun gan wàhálà tó dá sílẹ̀ òun ló lọ lọ́nkàn yẹn àbọ̀rọ̀mọ̀ yẹn nísìn so not that pé a survive 8 years Buhari but ìwọ ló máa wá lọ jókòó tí ilẹ̀ bá mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ orí jẹ láàárọ̀ yẹn àbó orí jẹ kókò jókòó fún 1 hour kó wá play back 2015 tí Buhari ti dé within your own family pé tí wọ́n fi lè survive ẹ̀ àwọn mélòó ló survive ẹ̀ nínú family ẹ̀. mo á kí bàbá dáadáa bàbá tó jáde tán ó ní òun á sì jẹ́ kílẹ̀ Yorùbá kó wá sí ìmúṣẹ ó kàwé dáadáa 25 years ló fi gbé ní Amẹ́ríkà ó ráyé wá ní torí pé gbogbo àwọn tó bá bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe òun ṣe gbogbo wọn ló ní vision ní Awólọ́wọ̀ gbogbo wọn ló ń wọ jígí bí Awólọ́wọ̀ gbogbo wọn ló ń dé fìlà bí Awólọ́wọ̀ bí kò tẹ̀ ṣe kankan at least rẹ́kọ̀dì show pé bàbá yẹn náà nínú ìjọba tí wọ́n ṣe nígbà kan nínú Nàìjíríà ó ṣe sínétọ̀ rí ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ torí pé capacity ẹ̀ gbé ìwọ tí wọn náà wò mí léèní nísìn ó ṣe pé capacity ẹ̀ ò gbé láti ṣe house of rep ní state ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ní bí Nàìjíríà ṣe ń operate but problem tó wà ń bẹ̀ ni pé o gbọ́dọ̀ ní bàbá àsàlẹ̀ kan tí o ti máa lọ múlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú kó tó lè gbèrú ìgbésẹ̀ yìí. so tá bá wá ń sọ pé bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ níwọ̀nba tó ṣe tí a gbọ́jú gbọ́ it might not be perfect man just as bàbá náà ṣe perfect lénìí but ìgbésẹ̀ tí bàbá gbé olótàn mọ́ bàbá yìí lára torí pé tí kò bá ń ṣe pé irú bàbá yìí ní foresight ó lè má wà perfect àwọn lè náà máa wò pé káwọn ṣe báyìí káwọn gbé báyìí ìyẹn ti di ìtàn mistake tí a bá rí lára tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe tí bàbá yìí dẹ̀ ní ẹ jẹ́ ká correct ẹ̀ kí ló dé tí gbogbo àṣẹ wa ń sá fún nítorí pé bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ àwọn gbìyànjú based on in tí ó wà níwájú wọn níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn. Àwọn kan ló ti ń bẹ before the 1914 nítorí pé àwọn bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ àwọn sì jẹ́ bí ọmọ kéékèèké, kò ń ṣe pé àgbàlagbà kan ni wọ́n. Bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ kan ló gbé agreement dìde pé kí òyìnbó àti àwọn kájọ sáìnì treaty, torí treaty ló ń lò níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn. Kódà àwọn treaty míì wàá kàn fi ẹnu bára wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ni, but àwọn òyìnbó tó mọ bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ àwọn ń dọkumẹ́ǹtẹ̀. Bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ kò ń ṣe àgbàlagbà, kò tí ì dé adult ká lè sọ pé ó mọ̀ nípa 1914 amalgamation. Òyìnbó fúnra rẹ̀ gan ò dispute pé kò sí 1914 amalgamation. Òyìnbó wọn ò dispute pé kò wáyé, nítorí pé ìdí tí wọ́n ṣe lè dispute ni pé wọ́n bá wa as a kingdom. That means pé àwọn ọba kan ti ń jẹ, àwọn kan ti ń ṣe òṣèlú lábẹ́ àwọn ọba níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn. So irú decision wọn ló make tó fi di pé 1914 amalgamation wáyé. Àwọn wo ni wọ́n consult, àwọn wo ni wọ́n bá sọ̀rọ̀, àwọn wo ni wọ́n jọ jókòó ìjókòó pàdé pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó ti ń jẹ́ kingdom àti ilẹ̀ Ìgbò àti ilẹ̀ Haúsá ẹja kó gbogbo yín papọ̀ ká wá change orúkọ tí a ti ń pe ilẹ̀ yẹn. Orúkọ tí à ń pe ilẹ̀ yẹn nísìnyí ó ń fún wa ní repercussion, ó ń fún wa ní concern, ó ń dá wa dúró, ó ń fa ìrìn àjò ọmọ Yorùbá, ó ń fa ìbí wa. Torí pé tó bá bí èèyàn tí wọ́n bá cord lára arábìnrin tí wọ́n bí pẹ̀lú ọmọ yẹn, á jẹ́ pé ọmọ tó bí yẹn tendency wà pé problem kan ti wà. Ọmọ tó bá máa survive tó bí sáyé ó gbọ́dọ̀ ní cord ẹ̀bí, cord yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ wà pẹ̀lú ìyá yẹn. Ìyẹn ni wọ́n máa fi mọ̀ pé ọmọ yẹn lè má jẹ́ ti bàbá. Ìyẹn làwọn kan ṣe máa ń sọ pé ṣé ọmọ arákùnrin yìí ṣó hùwà bíi bàbá yìí ṣá, ìjà àwọn olóṣèlú wa ń hùwà bíi bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀. Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n ń hùwà tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe? Bí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ bá tẹ̀ ṣe mistake nípa tí wọ́n rí títí di final time tí bàbá yẹn máa jáde láyé, nígbà táwọn olóṣèlú ò ṣe, ǹjẹ́ àwọn ọmọ bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ wọn fúnra rẹ̀ tó wà láyé, àwọn grandchildren wọn tó wà láyé, ǹjẹ́ àwọn ọmọ tẹ̀ ṣì ń gbé ìgbésẹ̀ pé kí ìran Yorùbá kó bọ́ lóko ẹrú? Àbí àwọn náà ṣì ń play along the line? Because a mọ̀ pé lára àwọn ọmọ tí bàbá bí tó jẹ́ àwọn ọmọ bàbá, àwọn náà wà lára àwọn tó ń ṣòṣèlú Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. So tí gbogbo wa wá complain pé Nàìjíríà ò yẹ wá, kọ́ọ̀dì yẹn ni, because lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ òyìnbó change kọ́ọ̀dì yẹn mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. We should have one code, and that would have been a Yoruba kingdom, just like bí a ṣe ń pe ìlú yìí náà ní United Kingdom. Yoruba should be Yoruba Kingdom, àmọ́ a ti change code yẹn, which is the name. And that is giving us a lot of problem 108 years after the change of the code, 63 years even after àwọn bàbá yìí jàjà independent. Because ìdí tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe lè rí pé things were not the way it is, kò ń ṣòwò nìkan, with the remaining set of those that were in that era, because everything ló ní era tiẹ̀. Era ti àwọn bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ àti Azikiwe àti Zik, every one of them saw different things. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní knowledge yẹn débẹ̀ ni. Why are we now trying to drag bàbá tí òun wá sọ fún wa ní alẹ́ pé at my old age, for somebody that will also walk a line with the vision of Awólọ́wọ̀. Kí ló dé tá ṣì tí wá ń dragi bàbá ẹ̀ pé kò mọ̀ ṣe? Àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń drag ẹ̀ kò ń ṣe àwọn tí gbogbo wa ń rò lọ́kàn. Àwọn tó ń dragi Yorùbá Kingdom, Odùduwà Republic, nǹkan kí nǹkan tí kò bá wù wá lọ́kàn láti fẹ́ pè é. A lè pè ní Yorùbá Nation for now. Kò mí pé nígbà tí àsìkò bá tó, a lè change orúkọ yẹn. Ṣebí wọ́n change Nàìjíríà náà anyway. But he's not the only elder statesman nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lálẹ́. But he's fighting a lot of demonic Yoruba politicians because àwọn náà mọ̀ pé vision tí bàbá ìfẹ́ gbé jáde, vision tó máa clear sójú wa dáadáa ni, and that they are ready to destroy this man because this agenda pé the new Yoruba man tó ń tẹ̀síwájú tó máa liberate ìran Yorùbá lọ́kàn ara wọn, lẹ́mìí ara wọn, tí wọ́n ń tanra wọn, because Tinubu will not be able to liberate anybody. He will not. Because the system tí expectation pé in 8 years he will change everything. If he has to make that change, that will still be a big challenge for him alone. Because he's not going there on the platform of his own. And that makes us different. Because platform táwa ń fi sọ pé a fẹ́ dá dúró is a neutral platform. But we are having a lot of obstacles. À ń pàdé oríṣiríṣi ìdènà lọ́nà. And that òun ni látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn tó jẹ́ àwọn representatives wa. I listened to Fashola, ìyẹn gómìnà tìjọ́ òní ní Lagos State. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ máa ń pè ní Starboy, ó ṣe dáadáa. Èyí tó ṣe pẹ̀lú ọ̀rẹ́ mi dáadáa lórí platform ní àbílẹ̀ ìbílẹ̀ lọ ṣe. And they are all just the same. Brilliant, well learned, but Nigeria vision yẹn làwọn rí, wọ́n rí vision ní bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀. Àwọn kan lè argue pé they are doing their best within the context of Intọ́ba àti Intọ́nílọ́wọ́, and that literally means that we cannot hold them too much because owó tó ń wọlé kò ká láti fẹ́ fi resolve gbogbo problem tá à ń face nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, and that is already understandable because of the context of the Nigeria tí gbogbo wa wà nínú ẹ̀. But ǹjẹ́ lẹ́mìí ara wọn, lọ́kàn ara wọn, ǹjẹ́ wọ́n ṣì ń rí vision tí bàbá yìí ń rí presently in his old age? Ǹjẹ́ wọn Fashola, because Fashola is a brilliant man, àfi tá a bá fẹ́ parọ́ fúnra wa. Ó kàwé dáadáa. Ọlọ́run fún lẹ́ẹ̀bùn yẹn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá. Ìwọ náà tó ń wò mí, tó ń ṣọ́kadà, ó ní ẹ̀bùn Fashola lára. Àmọ́ Fashola ò rẹ́dì láti jẹ́ kí orí ẹ̀bùn yẹn, ìyẹn ló ṣe hold life yín mọ́lẹ̀. Ǹjẹ́ Fashola ń ronú bí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe ń ronú? Because in táwọn Fashola bá lọ́wọ́ bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ní regional government. But lẹ́ni practice regional government. They practice true federalism gangan sef. So irú vision wo ni Fashola ń lé pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹ̀mẹ̀wẹ̀ tó wà lókè tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí Jagarodi? Ṣé Fashola náà ti ní lọ́kàn pé ní èjì tóun wà yìí, bí Yorùbá bá parí tẹ́nu ẹ̀ ní 8 years, kò likely kó máa dá padà sọ́dọ̀ Yorùbá torí pé àwọn málà ò ní gbà. eléyìí tó ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn wọ́n fi sílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé kí wọ́n lè level relationship ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pẹ̀lú North. Àwọn tilẹ̀ Ìgbò lọ́hùn kò likely pé kódà bí ọdún mẹ́jọ bá tán á padà sọ́dọ̀ wọn, àmọ́ bí ọdún mẹ́jọ bá tán ó ń lọ padà sí North. Ṣé tí North náà bá ṣọdún mẹ́jọ á ò ní Fáṣọlá bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́? Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo ọmọ ọdún mélòó gan ni Fáṣọlá, ìyẹn gómìnà àná, torí pé tá a bá wo ọmọ ọdún mélòó ló jẹ́, ìyẹn la máa fi lè Babátúndé Fáṣọlá. Ọmọ 59 years old ni Fáṣọlá. Ǹjẹ́ Fáṣọlá tá a bá ní ká sì continue gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tí àwa ti rí pé gómìnà ìgbà kan ni, ó dẹ̀ ṣe dáadáa, ó ní record. Ǹjẹ́ Fáṣọlá tá a bá lo ọdún mẹ́jọ tán tí a dá padà sí North, táwọn náà lọ́dún mẹ́jọ 16 years, as at right now Fáṣọlá age ó máa pé 60 years old. Tá a bá add 16 mọ́, that will be àtẹ̀tọ̀ máa pé 60. Tá a bá add 16 mọ́, so Fáṣọlá will be 76 years old. So ǹjẹ́ pé a tún máa ní kí Fáṣọlá padà wá after 16 years, because Fáṣọlá will be 76 years old by the time tí power bá máa lọ tó lọ, nítorí pé ẹ mọ̀ pé mo ní a survive Buhari, but kólúkálukú lọ gbé fáìlì tiẹ̀ jáde fún rẹ̀ kó wá máa wo 8 years tí Buhari ṣe, ìyẹn 8 years Buhari, kó wá wò pé ṣé life yẹn ṣó lọ sókè díẹ̀, ṣó change díẹ̀, okay, family ẹ̀ kan travel, okay, ìwọ náà gbìyànjú nìyẹn, and you can weigh that, kólúkálukú lọ wò lọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀, kólúkálukú ni kó lọ ṣe fáìlì yẹn. But ní tí mò ń sọ ni pé ṣé vision tí Awólọ́wọ̀ mú bọ̀ tá à ń ṣe Nàìjíríà lọ continuously for the next 16 years, ṣé probability pé Fáṣọlá gan máa padà wá ni? Because báwọn ṣe ń ronú, ǹjẹ́ wọ́n ń ronú bí bàbá eléyìí ṣe ń ronú? Because a mọ̀ pé bí bàbá eléyìí ṣe ń ronú tọ́lọ́run fi jẹ́ Ọlọ́run nípè ní in the 80s, tí bàbá yìí náà fi wá sọ pé àgbà náà ti dé sọ́dọ̀ tòun náà, ẹ jẹ́ ká ronú bíi ti bàbá yìí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá tẹ̀ ń sọ pé eléyìí ò mọ tó ń sọ nítorí pé lọ́kàn ara yín ẹni kò ní that understanding ní tó ń pè ní òṣèlú. Ẹ mọ̀ pé ó ti di ìran mẹ́rin ni mò ń lò. À ń lo bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀, à ń lo bàbá Fáṣọlá torí bàbá lòun náà, àdúṣọ pé àwọn ọmọ wọn àti máa bímọ nínú ọládẹ làwọn ń bí sí. À ń lo bàbá Adébánjí, a dẹ̀ ń lo Ìgbòho. Ta ló ń lo vision ni bàbá yìí láàrin àwọn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin, àgbàlagbà méjì àti ọ̀dọ́? Nítorí pé ta bá wo éjì olóyè, mo rántí gbà kan ẹ̀gbọ́n kan á máa send message ká lọ form political party, ká lo gbogbo energy yẹn ká fi gbé sí orí political party. Wọ́n lè máa gbọ́ mi báyìí gbogbo àlọ́ máa kábà send mind náà it's irrelevant. Ká lo energy, ká channel energy yẹn ká wá fi Ìgbòho, ẹ rántí pé wọ́n play narrative yẹn náà pé kí Ìgbòho lọ contest, torí tí Ìgbòho bá contest àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó ti nífẹ̀ẹ́ wá tẹ̀lé lẹ́yìn. But Ìgbòho náà wọn ò ṣe yẹn, ó náà fẹ́ lọ in the line of bàbá yìí. Ó ní bí bàbá Yorùbá tẹ̀ wá gbìyànjú dáadáa, eléyìí tẹ̀ tí wọ́n tún sọ fún wa pé ọ̀nà tá a fẹ́ tọ̀ yóò gangan ló dáa jù. Ìyẹn mo ṣe ń béèrè pé ṣáwọn Yorùbá politician agbára nìkan ló ń wá for present, but wọ́n ò ronú the long term bí bàbá yìí ṣe ń ronú ẹ̀. Mo wá ń bi gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé are we ready for 16 years of pé ká lọ dúró de Fáṣọlá? Because tá a bá ní ká wo projection ò dẹ̀ ń pẹ́, it's just a matter of time. Lótìtọ́ 2015 bí wọ́n bá wẹ̀yìn bá 2015 Buhari ló ti ń tàn yìí dead or alive a rí pé ó wáyé lóòótọ́ nínú ẹ̀ lóòótọ́ mo tún ṣe rí èèyàn kan lára àwọn kan náà àwọn tajọmọra náà ó dà kó post orí Facebook ẹ̀ ó ń sọ pé RIP síyàn kan people have died wọ́n ṣe Nàìjíríà nìkan làwọn èèyàn ti ń kó ní Alabama àwọn ọmọ 16 years old you know that very young beautiful age tí gbogbo nǹkan ti ń jáde àwọn náà ti ń wà body wọn tí ó ti ń respond wọ́n ń ṣe party ní Alabama òkú ti sùn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀m ìyẹn l'Amẹ́ríkà láì ìyẹn ní àná mọ́ ẹ̀nì because ìkànnà ọmọ àlè tó jẹ́ ìkànnù wọn ó ti lọ gbé wọn jáde ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kí wọn kan má distract me I'm not taking any calls I'm very very serious now ẹ tó máa ń gbọ́ mi à máa pè mo bẹ̀ yín ni tá a bá ti ṣe àsìkò tá a fi máa pè àjẹkẹ́mu because I don't want to be distracted. So kò ń ṣe Nàìjíríà nìkan ni òkú sákọ́lẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀dọ́ ni mò ń sọ ẹ̀ ní Alabama so ikú ṣẹlẹ̀ lóòótọ́ all over the world but ìbéèrè tí mò ń béèrè ni pé ta ló ní vision ni bàbá ẹ̀ láàárín àwọn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin tí mo fi ń ṣe projection ta ló tẹ̀ sọ pé òkè bí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ bá tẹ̀ get it wrong because àwọn kan ṣe ń criticize bàbá yẹn pé he could have allowed us to decide àní sínímẹ́sì but bàbá yìí gbìyànjú pé ká tẹ̀ gba nǹkan kan kúrò lọ́wọ́ àwọn òyìnbó because like I said àwọn wo ló ìjókòó ìpàdé 1914 bá ṣe gbọ́ ìtàn I don't know too much about that but wọ́n ní ikú bàbá yèyé tó kú bàbá wọn àbí bàbá wọn àbí kankan ó wà lára àwọn tó ìjókòó amalgamation yìí but he could not correct it tí wọ́n fi wàjà torí àfisọpọ̀ bá kú so in tí kò mú àwọn balẹ̀ Yorùbá gan máa gbóhùn sókè pé a fẹ́ padà síbi tí ọ̀ràn wa wà ṣé culture wa kà ń pariwo ṣé Ifá because I'm not talking about ẹ̀sìn Yorùbá nísìnyí ẹ̀sìn Muslim and Christian I'm talking about our own tradition ṣé tradition wa ń sọ fún wọn pé ká sì jókòó sínú Nàìjíríà ní àbí báwo because òpèrè tó wà yẹn tó jókòó dé yẹn they are representing something and that something tó represent yẹn is who we are ṣé tó bá ń dífá fún wọn ṣé Ifá ń sọ pé kò sí ọ̀nà níbẹ̀ ni ṣé ilẹ̀kùn yẹn wà títì ni kò dẹ̀ sí tutù kan tá a máa ṣe àbí nǹkan kan tá a máa ṣe ó ṣe jẹ́ pé bàbá yìí nìkan ni wọ́n fẹ́ da gbogbo ẹ̀ lé lórí that is another topic for another day fáwọn ọba wa because I keep wondering pé táwọn kan máa ní wọ́n wà lábẹ́ pọ̀ ṣe oògùn kẹnu àwọn politician yẹn pa lóògùn kọ́ kú dànù kẹlẹ̀ ráyé gbé nítorí pé ẹ̀yin àtàwọn politician ẹ̀ ń ní wá lára àkọ́fẹ́ máa bú yín nítorí pé ẹ̀yin ni bàbá wa pọ̀ ẹ̀ ń ní wá lára torí kó má dé stage tí tó má di pé àwọn èèyàn máa ní ilé ṣe wá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí nílẹ̀ Yorùbá torí pé ẹ̀ ń ní wá lára. Tí politician bá ń yọ yín lẹ́nu ẹ pé alálẹ̀ fún kálálẹ̀ gbé lọ kó kú dànù àìkú ẹ̀ kí ló ń ṣe láyé born bastard born bastard because àmọ́ yìí tó jẹ́ pé kọ́ọ̀dì tó gbé wá sáyé bí Fúlàní ló bá ìyá yẹn sùn bọ́ bàbá ìyá ti gbé lọ fún Yorùbá man because ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láyé kọ́tà bá ní ká lọ ṣe DNA gbogbo àwọn olórí burúkú 1 million Yorùbá politician léde nísìn I'm sure pé àárí 100,000 nínú wọn tó ń ṣe ìran Yorùbá gangan àwọn dẹ̀ ni wọ́n kó problem bá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá because àwọn ló ń sọ fún àwọn tó ń wà nílé tí wọ́n ti tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ tí wọ́n fi sínú ìgò because ẹ̀yin kan ṣẹ̀rí ẹ̀yin kan ìwọ̀nba la lè blame yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe rí lélẹ̀ inú ìgò lẹ́wà but inú ìgò tẹ́ wà yẹn ṣe mọ̀ pé inú ẹ̀ lè breathe ẹ̀ dẹ̀ lè rí nǹkan tó ń lọ níta ṣẹ̀rí parákùnrin yẹn ó ń wò kì pé òun fẹ́ but òun ò rí nǹkan tó gbèsè lókè tí bá gbélé sórí mi báyìí nísìn ẹ hàn pé nígbà míì ẹlòmíì máa wá glasses ẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ wọ̀ sójú but eléyìí tí mo gbé sórí nísìn tí bá ní kí n wòkè ṣe kó máa jábọ́ but eléyìí tó gbélé yín lórí heavy load ni mo kí gbogbo àwa tí a ti wọlé, and that is the challenge. Àwọn wo ló wá gbé yín sí inú agolo tó ti pa? They are the politicians. Gbogbo pé à ń fa Fúlàní lọ́yàn, à ń fà wọ́n ní ẹsẹ̀, ìwọ̀nba díẹ̀ ni. A kàn ń ṣe yẹn pé ká má máa pè wọ́n sórí ètò ni. Àwọn tó ń dá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá dúró lénìí, òun ni Yorùbá politician. Tá bá ti lè mọ bá ṣe máa resolve àárín yẹn pẹ̀lú wọn, bóyá a máa pera wa sínú rúùmù kan tá máa jókòó tájọ máa sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọlúàbí. Tá bá dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé a lè sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọlúàbí, then a gbọ́dọ̀ wo kí ni the line of action tá máa fi sọ fún wọn pé kò sí ìtó kàn wá pẹ̀lú ilẹ̀ Haúsá. Kọ́ọ̀dì tí a fẹ́ já kúrò lára Nàìjíríà tó ń dá wa dúró, àwọn Yorùbá politician. Àwọn ọba tá à ń sọ pé wọ́n ò lẹ́nu níbẹ̀, èmi ò mọ reason tó ọba ọ̀pẹ alálẹ̀ kó bá wa pa gbogbo àwọn politicians yẹn, kí ọba náà lè rí ayé gbé, kó lè breathe the air, but they are all, working in line. They are all, ọba àṣẹ lọ máa gba ọ̀pá àṣẹ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà, kílẹ̀ ìlú gómìnà yẹn pa kálálẹ̀ máa gbé lọ, torí pé ìwúlò gómìnà yẹn is completely useless. Tó bá ní kó wo gbogbo àwọn gómìnà ẹ, mo ò ní lọ púpọ̀ jù, ẹ lọ wo Ọ̀ṣọ́bà. Bóun bá síkì nísìn, London ló ti ń gba treatment, bọ̀ ẹ̀yin bàbá tí ẹjọ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú Ọ̀ṣọ́bà, inú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn lẹ máa kú sí, ẹ̀ ní lálàáfíà. Torí pé àlàáfíà tó yẹ kẹ́ ní, ẹ ti fi endorse Ọ̀ṣọ́bà àti Bọ̀dé George and so many of them like that. So gbogbo pé à ń pariwo Fúlàní wà nígbó, ṣẹ́rí gbogbo Fúlàní wà nígbó yẹn, tá bá ti deal pẹ̀lú ara wa tó jẹ́ àwọn Yorùbá politician, then they will know we are serious. Then Fúlàní gan á ya dànù kúrò ní pápá, because none of your Yorùbá politician, will not give you that access. They are so much in love with Nigeria. Fashola, like I said, a brilliant Yoruba man, very well read. 16 years, lè máa dúró tó máa fi kàn yín padà for Fashola to even think of pé òun fi gbégbé position president in Nigeria. That will be 16 years. Because there's no way Fashola will be there. Wọ́n lè fi jẹ minister, ìbí Buhari gbé portfolio méjì ní Buhari gbé fún, ó lọ handle. Lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ló darúgbó. He was handling 2 portfolio, 2 ministerial positions ló handle. Power was one of them. Bó bá tẹ̀ láníyàn pé òun fẹ́ ṣe, is fighting a lot of demonic people, just as òun fúnra rẹ̀ gan, they are all the same. And this is the question tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá máa béèrè. Ṣé ní gbogbo àwọn tó ń ní Tinubu bọ̀ wá ṣe, àwọn yẹn máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí react within the next couple of months. But I am talking about the projection that tonight, in tó jẹ́ one of our biggest obstacles that the Yoruba nation movement, the Oduduwa Republic, is because the Yoruba politicians, they are not ready to let the power go. If we can be able to find soon and get ourselves within the Yoruba land, then it will be very, very easy for us to get to the next page. That's all. Bamashi program is just to enlighten us and that and that and that and that. But the biggest obstacle that we have are the Yoruba politicians, and they know that. They are the biggest enemy only the biggest enemy you are. But how do we come to a kind of omoluabi, ni gbogbo wa? Because I don't think, in 3 years, we have gone to kill anybody or we have actually, take them out. There was a video I saw on Twitter. Don't ask me to share it. Twitter. So if you don't have on Twitter, then you don't know what is happening because there are some gruesome videos that we can't show. One boy, according to the story, which I can share the story, so let's go and look at that story, but we will not share the video so you can go. So we're gonna move to the back end now. Moki Wale Consi. Make sure we veti it move play the BBC or the BBC they're not on the sorry page one. But let's see if I can. So with my video, I think BBC is showing a little bit of it. I'm just watching the video myself. Okay? Alright. I won't show up to that side. So we might stop it. I'm going to play it. And we will not also the BBC. So let's go through the back end and see this. Most often my page is different because I find things that is much of interest. Sometimes it might be like a violent to you. But to me, it's not violent. It's just, like I always say, the word itself is violent. Everybody knows that. Am I violent? Yeah, it's okay. You may not agree with me. But kí ló lè trigger interfering wọ̀nyí? Nǹkan kan ló máa trigger. Wọ́n ti máa push wọn tipẹ́. Ilé iṣẹ́ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ni. I'm not sure whether some of you have seen it before. Ìdí tẹ́sí máa wá sórí bíbá ilé yẹn. Orí bíbá ilé ti máa rí tó máa relate mọ́ bí ìjà, bí violent. Bíbá ilé I'll show you and I'll present it to you that there's nothing. I mean, kò sí nǹkan tó wrong pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. But in the reality, àwọn tó ń dá wa dúró pọ̀ ju Yorùbá politician. Let me get my video set properly and then we go to the back. Once again, I should discuss 4.5 million Yoruba people tó níṣẹ́. Mo sọ fún yín pé topic yẹn, I will treat it until I'm satisfied because I go from different ways and different angles to my presentation so that you will understand the reason why you are suffering. So after my síbẹ̀ lálẹ́, it's not going to change. It's still the same, channels, website as I will use, and then I will do Ashimalowo importation. Ẹ̀ṣá àwọn tí bá ṣe máa ń lọ yẹn, mo kí gbogbo yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Timba dárúkọ gbogbo yín, you can see all the comment coming through. Mo ní ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò, àtọbìnrin, àtọmọdé, àtàgbàlagbà. Èmi náà ni Koiki ni tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí koikimedia. Mo wá kí bàbá wa dáadáa, Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin bàbá tí ẹ ṣùrùbọ bàbá yẹn, tẹ shield ẹ̀. Because àwọn bàbá kan wà tó shield ẹ̀, àwọn kan ti expose ẹ̀. Pé and then area bọ́dẹ̀ ṣe expose ẹ̀, Ọlọ́run náà lòun máa protect ẹ̀. Mo dúpẹ́ fún ẹ̀yin ìyá tí ẹ dúró tì wọ́n náà. Mo dúpẹ́ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tí ó gbà fún bàbá yẹn. Ìwọ ló máa wá decide lẹ́mìí rẹ lọ́kàn rẹ pé ṣé àwọn Yorùbá politician ni ó fẹ́ fún ní support? Ṣé wọ́n ń lọ ní direction, projection Awólọ́wọ̀ àbí Ìgbòho Òòṣà tó fi ọlá ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ tó sọ pé ìran ọ̀run ìyà tí wọ́n ń jẹ? Not too much, my brother, you're welcome to the program. Àṣẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ náà ni kò tí ì pé 1 hour. 1 hour exactly. The time is 11:27, Sunday, April 16, and I hope our weekend have been good. That's all I know. I know the weekend is not always good. Even around the world, there's a lot happening. Kò ń ṣe ní Nigeria nìkan, but we as indigenous people called to work pẹ̀lú wa, to connect wa mọ́ ilẹ̀ wa. Bí ṣe fi example ìyá àtọmọ tó bí. Ìyá tó bímọ, òun ló mọ bí àtòótọ́ ni ọkọ tó wà nílé yẹn ló lọ́mọ yẹn. But ọmọ yẹn mọ̀ pé ìyá òun ni because cord yẹn ó lock him together. Cord wa àti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n ti gé dànù tipẹ́ láti 1914. And that's why we are struggling, today. But kò sí bá ṣe wá fi struggle tó nígbà tí a ti gbà fún ẹ̀mí pé ó máa padà. Bó ṣe fi padà yẹn, òun ni gbogbo wa là ń gbìyànjú. Lára ìgbìyànjú yẹn náà, there's still a lot of different obstacles. But our major obstacle is nothing more than the Yoruba politicians. Àwọn gangan ni obstacles wa. Well, tí kò bá tẹ̀ wá diminished in 16 years, ká tẹ̀ agree pé Fáṣọlá ṣì wà active títí di 76 years. Mo fi wá contest fún Nigerian president. Do you still think that it is worth waiting up to that time? Ojú ló pẹ́ sí. Everybody will understand what we are saying. Ó lè dàbí in terms of kò wà relevant, kò make sense, but projection ni gbogbo nǹkan. And part of that projection, before we show you the BBC, is this again tonight. The unemployment in Nigeria is not going to change this year. Maybe some of you will be lucky. Àwọn kan máa lucky, but not every one of you will be lucky. Some of the comment coming through is also saying that from Mr. Obert, they have all diverted from Pa Awolowo's principle and the policy of governance. Ìyáwó Fisoye Yetunde ní Fashola's strength would have diminished in 16 years. Energy tí Fashola ń lò lálẹ́ yìí tó fi operate ní Nigeria is the same energy ní àwọn tó ti kú, and the latest is Ajibola tí wọ́n ṣe ìdáwọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ lọ́nkó ẹ̀sáfẹ́fẹ́ rẹ̀ ìyẹn òun àti Elédùmarè nìyẹn. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀yin náà gbìyànjú nínú Nàìjíríà tí ẹ̀ agree pé kí Nàìjíríà kó pín, kò ń ṣe dandan kẹ́ agree pẹ̀lú wa. Àwọn kan ti sọ di bí ẹ̀fẹ̀. Àwọn kan tó ń ṣe náà wọ́n sọ pé ó ti sọ àwọn ṣe mọ́ and all that. Kò ń ṣe dandan. But ṣé projection Nàìjíríà yẹn tí gbogbo àjọ ń wò níwájú wa ẹ̀, ṣe sure pé ọmọ yín tẹ́ expect kó máa wá solve as many of our problems? Ẹ sure pé òun gangan tí solve the internal problems tó wà within their own system? Because if you are thinking at the back of your mind pé Tinubu máa wá solve problem in Nigeria, I want you to put it tonight again. Tinubu will solve problem in Nigeria. I understand how máa wà lágbára lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ láti pàṣẹ síbí pàṣẹ sọ́hùn, but òun kọ́ ló control north. Tinubu kọ́ ló control north tó fi gba ipò tó gbà yẹn. Ẹ rántí pé àwọn northerners tó jẹ́ Fúlàní tó pọ̀ láàrin wọn, just as bí bàbá yẹn ṣe sọ pé àwọn gan làwọn fún Abíọ́lá ní ìbò àti náà Ọbásanjọ́. Ẹ rántí bàbá àwọn Northern Elders Forum, ó ní àwọn làwọn sọ fún Ọbásanjọ́, even though pé gbogbo wa sọ pé àfi Ọbásanjọ́ because nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ó dà ń pé the other guy ni wọ́n vote fún. So this expectation, mo understand the feelings yín, mo get ibi tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́rọ̀ gbà. Mo máa ń wo kọ́mẹ́ǹtì lára àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ Yorùbá nation, ẹ̀mí wọn sọ pé Tinubu tó débẹ̀ yẹn á fẹ́ lè oyè ẹ máa bá ṣe máa ń gara wa síwájú. Ó dẹ̀ dá ká máa gara wa síwájú, There's nothing wrong in that. Ẹ̀gà náà ni ẹ̀wọ̀n bá like ẹ̀gà. But èmi tún sọ fún yín lálẹ́ pé bọ́bá tẹ̀ ń sọ pé Tinubu máa ṣe fẹ̀yìn tí òun sọ fún mi pé kí n gbẹnu sàn. Àdúrà tèmi kàn ń bí wọn ni pé ṣáà make sure pé òun take note pé o ò tí ì níṣẹ́ nísìn, so projection pé o gbọ́dọ̀ ní iṣẹ́ tí Tinubu bá débẹ̀ o. Ìyẹn làkọ́kọ́. O gbọ́dọ̀ lè ní iṣẹ́ láti má sọ pé ó fẹ́ fi fìdí nǹkan kan láti fi lè tọ́jú ara ẹ̀. Welfare ó ti di dandan pé government ẹ̀ ó gbọ́dọ̀ look after láti state level títí dé federal. Gbogbo tí o bá ń sọ fẹ́mi pé kí n shut up pé kò necessary, mo kàn ń fi pàdùn mi, mo ń parọ́ ni. Ìwọ ṣáà make sure pé nínú Nàìjíríà at least o enjoy that period. Gbogbo ilé ìtajà ń sọ yìí náà, àwa ò ní sọ fún yín pé bó ṣe máa rí leléyìí, but based on in tó ṣì ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, the internal conflict láàárín àwọn political party tí gbogbo àjọ ń follow, ó sì di May 29 kólúkálukú tó mọ èyí tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ sí. We are not politicians. Platform tiwa, I've told you, they are all born bastard. Àti kékeré, àtọbìnrin, àtọmọdé, àtàgbàlagbà tó ń ṣe politics in Nigeria, they are those that are holding you backwards. So, from May 29, gbàrà tí government bá change over, that if it goes as it is, calm down ní gbogbo àjọ wa. Jọmọ̀ power neutral nísìn. Dẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa, àwọ̀ ò tí ì gba Yorùbá nation. So máa mix ẹ̀ papọ̀. Bàbá Akíntóyè ò tí ì jáde pé Yorùbá nation has been declared. Campaign awareness, tásìkò bá tó rally àtẹ̀lé again, òun làwọn sì gbé dání, and any other diplomacy. Diplomacy ìkẹrẹ kò ń ṣe in tó ń lọ as much as you might want it. Diplomacy is something that goes back and forth. Wọ́n lè báyàn sọ̀rọ̀ lénìí kó tún sọ pé kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́. Ìyẹn ni àìtí ṣe rí ọ̀rọ̀ yanjú ní a lot of crisis tó ń lọ lágbàáyé. A gbàdúrà ogun, but èmi sọ pé tí a bá jà, àìtí fi lọ. Ìjà dẹ̀ pé oríṣiríṣi. Ìjà kan wà a lè jà in the line of bó ṣe ń lọ ní Sudan lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Àwọn kan ní ẹni ìdí irinṣẹ́, ẹni ìdí dis, èmi máa sọ pé tíjà bá dé, tá a bá ti kọ́kọ́ hijack military barracks kan, àbá nǹkan bí méjì bẹ́ẹ̀, láti ibẹ̀ náà a máa gbà mọ́ra wọn lọ́wọ́ tó ń lọ ní Sudan, àsọ díẹ̀ náà lálẹ́. Gbogbo àwọn táwọn yẹn náà ní díẹ̀ lọ́wọ́, but lára nǹkan, ok, nígbà tó ti hijack airport, Khartoum airport has been hijacked, fighter jet àwọn Egyptian wà nínú bẹ̀, all they need now is just ẹni tó lè drive ẹ̀, that's all. Tí wọ́n lè drive ẹ̀, ó yá bọ́ sínú ẹ̀, bọ́ǹbù wà níbẹ̀, gbé sókè, jù sí wọn náà padà. Government the other side tó jẹ́ ti ìjọba Sudan, wọ́n sì lo fire power tókè, but wọ́n ti control sàlẹ̀, gbogbo foreigner ti yàdà Dubai, wọ́n lọ́sàn-án nísìnyí wọ́n fún wọn ní window of 4 hours or 3 hours látago 4 ìyẹn Sudanese time, láti fi jẹ́ kí àwọn tó fẹ́ move jọ ẹlòmíì. Sórí ìwọ tó ń sọ fún mi pé kí n shut up pé ogun ò ní ṣẹlẹ̀, èmi náà ń bẹ Ọlọ́run kógun má ṣẹlẹ̀. Sórí ogun tó bá dé, sórí àwọn crew tó lọ láti Saudi Arabia, plane tó gbé lọ ó ti blow ẹ̀. Saudi ò tí lè send another plane lọ, tó bá tẹ̀ máa send the plane lọ nísìn, it has to be a military aircraft. Military aircraft yẹn kẹ̀rẹ́ kò ń ṣe tọ́kọ̀ máa gbéra, wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ bá àwọn tó ń bára wọn jà nísàlẹ̀. Báwa bá wá sọ pé a fẹ́ ṣe gbogbo eléyìí, táwọn ẹ̀yà kejì bá bẹ̀rẹ̀, ṣé o máa sọ fún wọn kó stop torí pé o sọ pé o fẹ́ràn wọn, èbó ti náà láìpẹ́ Igbo náà fẹ́ gba Lagos. So tí Igbo bá dá wàhálà sílẹ̀, a gbọ́dọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ tó pọ̀ jù, because gbogbo wa kò èmi ò sí bẹ́ẹ̀, ẹ̀yin lẹ́wà ń bẹ́ẹ̀, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ sọ pé wọ́n fẹ́ gba Lagos ni ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ shut up. pé ó ti di dandan pé kí Igbo jà kí wọ́n bá Nigerian government jà. No, let me put it this way. Tí Igbo bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjà pẹ̀lú federal government, a gbọ́dọ̀ jáde wá ká wá complain. We must just let it go because àwa ti náà jà. So àwa ọmọlúwàbí làwa, a lè fẹ́ jà, a fẹ́ ogun, but a lè control àwọn, ẹ lè control àwa pé shut up Koiki, ẹ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ láti control in táwọn Simon Ekpa tó máa ṣe. In tó bá dẹ̀ máa ṣe kò sí bàbá ńlá ẹni tó lè dá dúró níjọmọ Yorùbá, not even àwa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá sọ fún wa pé ká má bá wọn ṣe gan sẹ̀ because some of you have come, ẹ ti mo rí mọ́mọ́ yín. Ibẹ̀ ti pè mí, Koiki relationship yẹn wọ́n á fẹ́ ọ̀dàlẹ̀ ni wọ́n, bọ̀ tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjà, wọ́n bí bá tẹ bá jáde kẹ́ pè mí pé Koiki kí lórí sí ìpìlẹ̀ ẹgbà lẹ́nu mi. Káwa máa ṣe ọmọlúàbí tiwa lọ, òun mo sọ fún yín pé ìgbà tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ lèmi náà mọ̀ between ọ̀dọ́ tiwọn, but pé kò ní sí gbàgbọ́ pẹ̀lú Biafra àti federal government díẹ̀ ló máa. It might not be this year, it might be next year. Wọ́n prepare dáadáa ni. Because àwa ti náà jà ọmọlúàbí làwa. Àná rẹ̀ fẹ́ jà. But ìjà táwọ̀ fẹ́ jà òun ni pé ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ ń ní ọmọ yín ti débẹ̀. Ọmọ yín débẹ̀ kò kan ọmọ Igbo. Tinubu there has got nothing to do with the Biafra movement. Lóòótọ́ àti gbóríṣiríṣi yẹn Tinubu lè ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún this and that. Ìwọ bàbá ẹ̀ la ṣiṣẹ́ fún Tinubu. Torí èmi wọn Tinubu rí. And I don't pray to know him. Ìwọ ni òfin mọ Tinubu tó ń support Tinubu on the ground. So láti May 29, if all the transition bá go as smooth ni o, you must now start having a countdown. Okay, bàbá wa ti débẹ̀. Ìgbà wo la máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́? Ìgbà wo la máa ṣoríire? Ìgbà wo lélẹ̀ máa ṣẹlẹ̀? Wàá wá fún ẹ ní projection. Èmi ò expect pé kó débẹ̀ kí miracle ṣẹlẹ̀ ní May 29, but ìwọ ló máa, èmi ò ní láti bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ yẹn. Ìwọ ló máa, sórí èmi náà ní chat. Sórí chat tèmi, èmi ò ní láti fi wọ̀nyí. Èmi náà máa ń ní chat pé okay, bí Yorùbá nation ṣe ń lọ báyìí. Àlàṣe wa, mo ní chat tèmi. Chat me is for my own and my own family, immediate family mi nìkan lórí. Mo ń present ẹ̀ fún yàwó mi lójoojúmọ́ pé oh yeah, but one thing is the Biafra care less about, the drug baron Tinubu. They care less about it. They care less about any one of us, even if we don't want a relationship with them, because we're going to judge clearly. Kàmákọ̀ máa sọ ẹ́ sí public ni, ẹ ti pè wá sínú meeting pẹ̀lú bàbá, ẹ ti pè wá sínú meeting tó dà pẹ̀lú Ìgbòho, fẹ́ relationship yẹn. Mo rí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Mẹ́kà, àmọ́ tata nọ́ọ̀sì tó wọnú Mẹ́kà ló ń kó ṣàánú. So that's all I can say, and let's move further into the conversation. So I'm now in my back view. OBS ni broadcast máa fi ń stream. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ǹkan síbẹ̀ ṣe dára gbogbo wa. So let me quickly read it again. Bí ṣe máa kà ní gbogbo eléyìí nìyẹn. Okay? Like I said, transition. Transition. So Nigeria is going through this transition. Again. Transition. One more time. Transition. Kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? We had a transition. Stages ló wáyé. We start with the 1914 amalgamation. The 1914 amalgamation, bí ti ṣe sọ, is the most deceit, the most criminal, the most problem that we are facing in 2023. Koikimedia life. Kọ́lọ́ba ń dúró ti ẹ̀gbọ́n wa tí wọ́n lose the sister wọn lánàá. I didn't call him here today because tí wọ́n bá kú, sometimes you just have to give a bit of breathing. Then bàbá wa kan náà, màmá wọn kú, kọ́lọ́ba àfọ̀nkẹ́ wọn. Our Sulaiman Yusuf is one of our last 3 years kò change picture mi àti Ìgbòho kúrò nínú DP wọn. Ó dà pé èmi nìkan ni mo ṣe rí pé wọ́n change briefly sí ti mọ̀ sí wọn, which is necessary. So we went to go through different things. Kolon kó bá mi wà pẹ̀lú. Yeah, the God is angry. Tata náà sì kún gbogbo Mẹ́kà, Kolon kó ṣàánú àwọn tó ṣẹlẹ̀. There's a lot happening around the world. Koikimedia Live, as we still on the live transmission. Okay, one Koikimedia team. Easy for you, call on the easy because internet, your phone battery, and all that. It didn't matter shit to that. In 1914, southern Nigeria was joined with northern Nigeria. It's a problem with the company protectorate to form a single colony of Nigeria for business purpose by the British. The unification was done for economic reasons. Okay? The Toba unification, because I don't understand meaning. Let's go and look at the meaning of unification.
Unification.
One more time.
Unification.
Again.
Unification.
It is called the process of being united or made into a whole. So, map to who lenny me. Moki gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan síbẹ̀ ṣe ń wọlé gbogbo ń pátápátá. The unification tí à ń face lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ is because of the British Empire. What is the meaning of unification? Unification, let's increase it. Unification describes the bringing together of two or more things so that they can become a single unit. So, anytime para yín fún Nigeria, we say I love Nigeria, it is because if Britain did not put this unification, you will not even be talking about Nigeria. How Nigeria was put together as a name, we've all been told, is this born bastard. Don't pè ní Lugard àti Flora Shaw. Flora Shaw and Lugard, these are the two born bastards that a lot of you will continue to worship, because these are your grandfather and your grandmother that kept us in what is known as Nigeria today. So if anybody, surely to pastor about suffering born bastard, the pastor no to matter Nigeria, we all don't create Nigeria. Because níbo ni Ọlọ́run ti jáde to create this unification, because these are the pastors that have told us lies for a very long time. I've not mentioned any church, but if any one of them have told you that before, they are all born bastards. Because one more way, there was what they call the unification. And the British have made us to be into what we are, but using these born bastards known as Frederick Lugard and his wife, Flora Shaw. And this is why I am finding it hard to tell our people that I want to one lálẹ́ Bashinso are the Yoruba politicians. And you are now expecting the world to remain, peaceful. Kò ní sí peace láyé yìí ni mo sọ fún yín. There will be more violent and more violent and more violent. And that takes me straight. We're going to come back to the employment. That takes me to this video. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ní India. There's a guy called Atik Ahmed. Let me first bring his picture out properly. It's the news that have gone, as you can tell there, these are all the news about him. Along with that, and let's get you the image. This man, they're born bastard. When they commit crime, they become politicians. And they now think that they are powerful. They are gangsters, just as we have them in Yoruba land today. But Awashi in Lomoluabi method. And that is why they have not really come out and say to our politician, Ama Payeni. We've never come out to say that. Níjọ́ politician bá ti rí tí ìbọn bí méjì bá ti dún lára àpọ́nú wọn, then wọ́n mọ̀ pé wèrè ni wọn poison o. But bàbá Pinto sọ pé no, ẹ̀yin ọmọ mi ẹ má gbé ìgbésẹ̀ yẹn. Bá wọn politician wa sọ̀rọ̀, wá gbọ́ sí wa lẹ́nu. Níjọ́ tó máa gbọ́ yẹn láì tí mọ̀, but àwọn tará Indian ò kíá. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan? Kí ló fa? Má bínú kí ni ti move ní láti. Sometimes, the browser to click lórí ẹ̀. I to show another one. technology yẹn. So let's come back here. Kí ló lè fà á ní life? Ẹgbọ́n mi dáadáa, life ni wọ́n pa bàbá yìí. Life ni mo sọ fún yín o. Life, ẹ̀mọ́ tán pè ní life. Wọ́n rìkọ́dẹ̀ tó ń ṣó bílẹ̀ káàkiri lórí news wọn ní India. Èèyàn kan dẹ̀ súnmọ́ ó ní ìbọn pa àwọn méjèèjì. Àwọn ọ̀dí stage yẹn. But táwa máa dé stage yẹn, olúkálùkù máa bèèrè lẹ́nu ara ẹ̀ pé ṣé ìyẹn ni the right route àbí káwọn politician wá gbọ́ràn? Èmi sọ pé gbogbo irú àwọn nǹkan báyìí lèmi máa mú wá fún yín. Kò ń ṣe movie 2023 lélẹ̀. Kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí àfihàn-dẹ́rùbọ̀ lọ́rọ̀ ni. Nígbà tí wọ́n máa unificate wa àbí tó unification wa tó join wa papọ̀, ta ló bí wọ́n? Ta ló rán wọn iṣẹ́? Ta ló rán Gẹ̀ẹ́sì níṣẹ́ pé kí wọ́n kó gbogbo wa papọ̀ tí a fi ń bá àwọn màálù sọ̀rọ̀, ta fi ń bá àwọn ẹranko sọ̀rọ̀, ta fi ń bá àwọn tí wọ́n pera wọn ní the northern Fulanis that are holding us back. And this is why we are saying to our people, ó lè pẹ́ lójú ni, but it's going to happen. But táwọn bá wá jẹ́ kó happen, mo wá ń bẹ̀ yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. Táwọn ọmọ Ìgbò bá bẹ̀rẹ̀, ẹ má sọ fún wa pé ó ti pọ̀ jù. Because when they start, we must all accept. I mean, wọn ò ní jà lọ́dọ̀ wa, at least ọ̀dọ̀ tí wọ́n lọ́ ti máa jà. But whatever is going to happen that will have equal effect in the southwest, we must just accept it. Even if it's going to be for a few years, lọ́mọ fi jàjà yẹn. Just what is Jaberi? So I won't understand it. I mean, over 5 million people were killed by the Nigerian government in the civil war. But I'm not sure that they were able to kill up to that amount in 2023. I don't think so. Àwọn èèyàn máa kú lóòótọ́. But I don't think there will be 5 million Igbo people that will die should there be another second civil war in Nigeria. Even Sudan, tí jà ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tí bọ́n dún pápápá tí bọ́ǹbù ń dún, they are already calling for ceasefire. They are calling for ceasefire. And this is about 5 hours ago. You can see who is Albana, Sudan military de facto head of state. Sudan top army general Abdel Fattah Abuna. Violence broke out on Saturday in Sudan between the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces, putting at risk efforts made so far towards the country progression to civilian rule. Nobody is talking about the progression of Nigeria. Nobody is talking about it. But if bomb bá dún pẹ́rẹ́ láti ilẹ̀ Igbo, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀. We must let them go. Since that was already that ija, let's come back to this guy. I don't want to open too much. But bomb bastard Yoruba people that are supporting Nigeria, you are supporting this vision of this man. Because onto that problem, Nigeria is learning. This bomb bastard, Lugard and Flora Shaw. Níbi tó ti ń gẹ̀dí síra wọn, àmọ́rú ètùtù tó ṣe níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn táwa ń sọ pé ká unfold nísìn, because I'm sure that they will have done a lot of different spiritual things, and that's why àdúpẹ́ fáwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe àdúrà back to back. But ẹ máa sọ fún wa pé àdúrà yẹn nìkan tẹ̀ ń ṣe fún láti ìlànà ti mùsùlùmí àti kìrìsìtẹ́nì àti ti ìṣẹ̀ṣe wa, gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ni ó máa wọnú ara wọn. But ẹ máa rántí pé the reason why we are joined with this bomb bastard that the British did to us is because of economic reason. Nothing more than that. The unification was done for one particular reason, economic reasons. And the colonial administration sought to use the budget surplus, owó tó ń bọ̀ láti southwest or the southern Nigeria, to offset the deficit. Ẹlòmíì ọmọ tó ń pè ní deficit, gbèsè làwọn olórí burúkú north yẹn jẹ títí wọ́n ti ń jẹ gbèsè bọ̀ látayédáyé ni. So when you look at the meaning of deficit, again, deficit, one more time, deficit, the amount by which something, especially owó, a sum of money is too small. The North was not making any money for the colony as at that period. So what they had to do was to use southern part of Nigeria or southern part of the country to what now we called, surplus. Surplus in Walatodotiwa tó bá sọ pé nǹkan surplus, àwa ní surplus, okay? They were using the budget surplus. Omugo, you want to die for Nigeria. The British knew very well that the Yoruba people have been given surplus. And that's why we are always giving surplus. We are the our south is not a surplus, according to a lot of you, and that's why they are taking our land. But when they start, we must let them go. I'm not talking about the big criminal gang that the West are using with all these bomb bastard people that call themselves obedient, that doesn't understand that Nigeria is a surplus, or the southwest and the southeast. So Kilongwen is surplus. Can you mean
surplus?
Surplus.
Okay? Surplus.
So what's it mean? Surplus.
Surplus.
An amount in Kantoba, an amount of something left over. I mean, I lose a good and good boy to Contoni Olori Buruku Baba bomb bastard. Obasanjo. Emma Paul ló sọ pé owó pọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà tó lọ ṣe first half 77 tó ta gbogbo èrè wa dànù. Ikú wọn ní dá láíláí. Èmi ò fẹ́ kọ́ kú nísìn, wọ́n ẹ̀ ṣẹ̀sìnkú ni gbogbo ń bára pátá. Àtẹnitá mọ́ ní orúkọ yín àtẹnitá mọ́ bomb bastard gbogbo ń máa kú dànù. But ẹ̀ ní kú nísìn, ẹ máa ṣẹ̀sìn ni. Because àwọn ọlọ́kọ̀ wá sí gbogbo problem, every one of them. But nítorí pé àwa jẹ́ ẹni tó nice. It's nice jù ọmọlúwàbí ni wá, and that's why ìlú yẹn bá wúlò bàbá kí tó yẹn bàbá yẹn kàn sọ pé ìjà ṣe ká ṣe sùúrù ká ṣe díẹ̀ ẹ máa kó dìjà, but kí ni yìí máa dìjà because tí south east bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ jà ata díẹ̀ sọ́dọ̀ tiwa because nígbà tó bá já bridge ìwọ sọ fún wa pé kó má já bridge, tó bá já bridge lókè lọ́hùn ìwọ sọ fún wa pé kó má já bí a trailer máa gbé pẹpẹ tó fẹ́ jẹ olórí burúkọ máàlì tó fẹ́ jẹ láti náà tó bá yẹ wá lọ máa gbé tòmátò díẹ̀ níwọ̀n bá ilẹ̀ tó ní nísìn má lọ máa gbé nǹkan kalẹ̀. Ó lè má ṣẹlẹ̀ in another 8 years, but pé south east ní àti federal government ò ní gbà sí fúnra wọn, èmi ò tí mọ̀ pé jọba ẹ̀ nìkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ kò sọgbọ́n ẹ̀ àti tàbá ń parọ́ fúnra wa. Now àwọn ará Indian ilẹ̀ tó gbogbo àwọn ilé à ń padà bọ̀ níbẹ̀ à ń padà bọ̀ mú wọn. Kí ló dé táwọn wá sọ pé àwọn nígbà ẹ̀wọ̀n tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú a ní play gbogbo fídíò ẹ̀ délẹ̀, but a kàn máa play débì kan tó bá fẹ́ wò délẹ̀ lọ sórí Facebook àbí orí YouTube wà bá ń bẹ̀ má ní kí n play program tèmi lélẹ̀ ìwọ náà lọ wò fún rẹ̀ because mi ò ní ṣó ibi tó ti ń yin ìbọn yẹn. Sori pé life ni wọ́n ń gbé lọ àwọn méjèèjì máa di ẹni tó máa di olóògbé ní life níbi tó ti ń report. Àwọn méjèèjì tó ń wọ̀ yìí they were shot dead. Ṣèlú ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ táwa ni wọ́n ìyẹn la fi mọ̀ ta ni àwọn bomb bastard just like the Yoruba politicians bó ṣe operate náà nìyẹn. They become criminals. Wọ́n ti intimidate yín, wọ́n ti fà yín sẹ́yìn, wọ́n ti lo àwọn influencer tó máa pariwo lórí social media oríṣiríṣi owó lórí kálukú ní grade wọ́n ti náà wọ́n máa dé tọ́ọ̀gì wọ́n ṣe pa kòkòrò wọ́n ti máa tó máa yìnbọn pa yín and all that because àìtí ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yìnbọn fúnra wa tàbá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yìnbọn para wa dẹ̀ wọ́n máa mọ̀ bá ṣeré. Tó bá yẹ pé bí abí mẹ́fà láti mú balẹ̀ in the last 3 years wọ́n mọ̀ pé bàbá wèrè àwọn tó ń ṣe Yorùbá nation yẹn gbogbo wọn máa sá fún wa ọwọ́ sá fún wa nígbà tá à ń bára wa jà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ka story yẹn so like I said that's how far I can play ọmọ fẹ́ kí ọ̀rọ̀ ìbọn yẹn jáde nínú program. But ẹ ká ka story wọn Atik Ahmed the moment before a former Indian MP was shot wọ́n pa wíri dànù kí ló ń ṣe láyé wọ́n yìnbọn fọ́ orí ẹ̀ dànù wọ́n pa dànù ni wọ́n pa dànù àná lè ṣẹlẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan tó ń bọ̀ àfíndẹ́rù ba lọ́rọ̀ ni sí nǹkan tó ń bọ̀ láyé tílẹ̀ yìí ò ní gbà. Bàbá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjà lálẹ́ ní Nàìjíríà ta wọlé pẹ́ńpẹ́ń ẹ̀kọ́ máa pariwo náà ni ìjà kan ló ń lọ ní Sudan ẹni ẹ̀kọ́ ìkẹ́ àti èèmọ̀ ẹgbógun ṣe rí ogun ọ̀bímọ rí nígbà tí àwọn olórí burúkú politician yóò fi bímọ rí tí wọ́n jẹ́ ká lọ gba orí kò ní di wàhálà. It's because we are all. Alele tó ní White Lion you need to be minding your utterances on social media. I think you don't need to be on our page. I don't know who you are. Alele tó ń sọ fún mi pé I have to be minding. Adampan sọ náà nìyẹn. You see? You come here now. Number one, I don't even know your face. Ṣé orúkọ Yorùbá lélẹ̀? Richie Young. Ṣé orúkọ Yorùbá ni wọ́n jẹ́? Hallelujah. You're a bomb bastard as well. Ìdá fún ẹ. Block it down. Àwọn olùsí. Kò bí jẹ́ kò gbé jáde. Ebi mo gbé jẹ́ fẹ́ traces èmi sílẹ̀. Kí ló kàn kí ló pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ọ̀tá? Kò ní ta fún ẹ. Bomb bastard. Block it down. Olùsí. Tó bá yẹ pa ti fi ìbọn fọ́ rí yín, ẹ̀yin politician yẹn. But bàbá mi ní ẹ̀yin ọmọ mi má ṣe yẹn. Má ṣe yẹn. Eré lọ́rọ̀ pé mò ń ṣe níbí báyìí lójoojúmọ́ ni. Bomb bastard. Okay, your trances. Ìdá fún gbogbo yín. Ẹ fi mi àti British sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú trances mi. Kí ni wọ́n sọ fún British pé kí ló join gbogbo àpapọ̀? Ẹjọ́ tó máa dùn ní kọ́ọ̀tì ni. A ní wọ́n ṣí òyìn pé wọ́n pààyàn lójú kí ni BBC ṣe sọ fáwọn oníṣẹ́ ẹ̀. Bomb bastard. Olùpá ń ṣeré lórí program yìí. Nítorí pé mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀bọ̀. Ìbọn kọ́ ni fún eléyìí tí BBC ń sọ̀rọ̀ kan ṣó. Ó ṣe jẹ́ BBC lè máa ṣó ibi tó ti ń pààyàn. Ní ọ̀dẹ̀. A ní ẹ̀dá kankan mọ̀. Lọ wo lórí Facebook. Tó bá tún wá sórí Facebook, àfikọ́ ya má comment, má tún block ẹ̀. Ẹ rò pé mò ń wá èrò ni. Èmi ò ní ìdèrò lórí bíbá yìí. Èmi sọ fún yín pé kẹ́ share rẹ̀. Nípa pé ẹ bá máa share. I am 6,000 kilometers. Ṣé mo ráì ṣe mo tẹ̀ rí kí ni? Mind your utterances on social media. BBC ṣó wọ́n pààyàn live ní Saturday lánàá. Ṣé ó yẹ kí BBC máa ṣó yẹn? Tá bá ti pa bí mẹ́fà náà bí BBC máa ṣó ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n á dẹ̀ máa bèrè pé kí ló fàjà. A máa nítorí pé lórí burúkú country ló kó wọ àpapọ̀. Ní ọ̀dẹ̀. Ilẹ̀ ẹlẹ́pọ̀n búlù. Òrùkọ́ mò ń ṣeré níbí báyìí. Let's come back here. So kí ló dé tó fi yìnbọn pa politician wọn lálẹ́ àná? Nítorí pé a máa intimidate. Ọ̀nà náà ti pọ̀ oríṣiríṣi. Ti pààyàn rẹpẹtẹ. Let's read about them. Because bá ṣe lè mọ irú àwọn èèyàn tó jẹ́ nìyẹn. Ìwọ náà tó bá fẹ́ comment tètè gbé jáde. Mo sọ fún yín pé platform yóò ń ṣe ibi dábí ṣeré o. Àfi kójú mi má ta sí. Controversial former Indian, and I'm not, mo lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ níbí báyìí o. Because àṣeré o. Mo dẹ̀ báyọ̀ ọkàn ní sùn. Àwọn ọkọ̀ tó tẹ̀ ń rò pé ìgbà tí mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìyá àjẹmọ́lẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n kan ní lánàá. Ó ní ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ṣẹ̀rí pé ó ṣe program lẹ́yìn nísìnyí kò dárúkọ mi. Mo sọ fún yín, ìyàwó mi mò ń lóde kó fún mi ní ọ̀clẹ̀. Ẹ̀rí pé ó ṣe program àbó dárúkọ mi. Ṣé ìyá yẹn dárúkọ mi nínú program tó ṣe lẹ́nu? Ìbò gbọ́ pé mo sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ lánàá. Ẹ̀ tí mọ̀ kankan. Mo ní mi ni máa fi mídíà tèmi pa gbogbo yín sẹ́. Ẹ̀kọ́ mọ̀ ṣe lórí bíbá yẹn. Controversial former Indian politician. Ṣáwọn tọ̀dọ̀ tiwa náà ṣé wọ̀ kí n ṣe controversial? Ṣé wọ̀ kí n ṣe controversial? Mádàmú lóhùn àríṣ jìnnà dùn. Ṣé yẹ kó máa gbà káì tí bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ṣe tẹ́ ká ṣe nì. Nígbà tá a bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ṣe tẹ́. Àní ní lánàá lélẹ̀. Wọ́n sọ pé kí nìkan. Lọ sórí Facebook kò type BBC wà á rí níbẹ̀ o lè wo bọ́ ṣe mi. Kódà èmi ti wo bọ́. Bọ̀bọ́ yẹn sún. Ṣé wàá mọ̀ pé ẹni tó ń yìnbọn pa wọ́n kò sá lọ? Ó káwọ́ sókè. Ẹni máa kó pàdé ẹni máa pa ní sẹ́ẹ̀. My God. Èmi náà like violent. Àbọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ èmi náà like violent. Èmi fẹ́ kí everything kó wà peaceful. Kò sí peace láyé sẹ́ẹ̀. Ayé yìí náà ní peace. Ayé gan wà peaceful. Àníṣe lánàá àwọn méjèèjì wọ́n yín interview wọn tó ń bímẹ live lórí tẹlifíṣàn wọn ní India wọ́n yìnbọn pa wọn ni. Ẹni tó dẹ̀ pa wọ́n ọ̀dẹ̀ sá lọ. Kí ló dé tó ṣe wá pa wọ́n? Because they are bomb bastard. Let's go further. Controversial former Indian politician Atik Ahmed, just like àwọn ti Yoruba, was shot and killed. Not just shot and taken to the hospital. Ẹni yẹn yìnbọn níbi tó mọ̀ tó máa kú ló gbọ́dọ̀ kú ni. Ẹni ọ̀dẹ̀ sá lọ. He was shot and killed on Saturday night as he was still talking to reporters. Wọ́n sọ pé nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀ rí láyé. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ rí? Ń dẹ́rù bọ̀ lọ́rọ̀. Shots were fired and 3 men who had been posing as journalists were then detained by police in the northern Indian Uttar Pradesh state. The state government is investigating. Ahmed, who was under police escort, at the time, has had dozens of cases registered against him for the past 2 decades, 20 years. I'm only Buruku bomb bastard Indian politician, just like your bomb bastard only Buruku politician in Yoruba. I'm sure some of them that have killed, like Funshaw Williams was killed by Tinubu and the call. Funshaw Williams. But today, everybody with the president in missing. Gbogbo àwọn kí ló ń pè gbogbo àwọn politicians yìí náà ti pààyàn ti mú jẹ àwọn rushing control yìí, and you are now asking for Yoruba nation. Mo kí alájà rà nígbà kí everybody gbọ́dọ̀ respect àwọn media àti after our comment àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń wò náà silently. Mo kí yín. Àníṣe ní àná bàbá yìí ó ṣe for 20 years ló ti ń commit offence. Kí lè rò pé ó fi ń evade offence yẹn because ó ń lo connection as an MP, ó ti ṣe MP Indian rẹ̀, and that is why he was able tó bá mú nísìn wọ́n á ti fi sílẹ̀, bọ́ọ̀bá yìnbọn pa náà wọ́n máa fi sílẹ̀ náà ni. So ìrìn tó yìnbọn pa ó fi pé the right thing láti ṣe nìyẹn. Ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tọkọ èmi kúkú kọ́ mọ́ òṣè bí BBC lélẹ̀ ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ trust koikimedia BBC lélẹ̀.
जनाजे बता जो आप लोग मान रहे थे कि आज जनाजे में आप लोग नहीं गए थे, क्या कहना आईडी वो हम दे देंगे
ibi tí bọ́n ti fẹ́ dún nìyẹn. Òwò náà ṣàgbọ́ ọgbọ́ díẹ̀ lẹ́ǹkan kúkú mo mọ mélòó ló wọ̀ lára bí ó rí ló wọ̀ ni o. Mo ṣáà rí pé èyí tí mo wò lórí YouTube ìyẹn lórí Twitter ìyẹn tún bẹ́tà délé lọ. Ìbọn ni ògbọ́n kan tọkọ síbẹ̀. Wọ́n ní arákùnrin yìí ṣe just like àwọn criminal politicians yìí tó ti fàyè jẹ. Ahmed ó wà lábẹ́ police escort at the time. Wọ́n ló ní dozen of cases to register against him over the past 2 decades. Kí ló ń pè ní 2 decades? That's 20 years. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹ má dáwọn lóhùn MC Olúọmọ wà níbẹ̀ tó ń threaten àwọn èèyàn. Wọ́n wá bíbọ̀ sọ pé mi sọ ntẹ́ni pé mi wà kí a fò lórí utterances. Kí ló utterances mi tí mo sọ? Dá kankan mọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún ka díẹ̀ sí ká lè move further. So ìyẹn lèmi sọ fún yín pé tẹ́ bá ti ń wá síbí ìbàì ibi tá a ti ń sọ a ti ń sojú abẹ ní kò gidi ni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ra máa sọ díẹ̀díẹ̀. Àní ìjà ń ṣe tíyàn máa sọ díẹ̀díẹ̀ tó bá dìgbà suppose ẹ lọ a ṣì máa lọ́dọ̀ Sudan lálẹ́. United Nations Security Council ti gbé lẹ́tà dìde. Gbogbo tí ẹ̀yin ò rò pé ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ̀yin jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ Ìgbò bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí àwọn ò ní jà ọ́ àsopá wọ̀ ọjà ọmọlúwàbí làwọn àwọn ń sá fún gbogbo táwọn ọmọ Ìgbò bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ sọ fún wọn pé ẹ̀yin ní kankan lẹ́tà sí wọn àbí kẹ́ ṣe program fún chemical stop then they understand pé ìtagbédání no be juju. A former Indian politician ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tó sọ sípa ìyẹn bàbá ẹ̀ criminal wọ́n yìnbọn fọ́ orí ẹ̀ lánàá àwọn méjì ló kú. A former Indian politician convicted of kidnapping has been shot dead live on TV along with his brother. Then, bàbá ọ̀dàrúkọ brother látọ̀ nǹkan wọn àwọn méjì lè ní níbẹ̀. Ìbọn tatata ni. Wọ́n jẹ́ káwọn yìnbọn pa àwọn politician wa o. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún yín pé ẹ má yẹ kó dé stage bí a máa wojú ara wa. A náà fẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká jókòó ní tọmọlúàbí ká ṣe kí ní ìkóró ká lè lọ. Ẹ̀fẹ́ máa fi wá máa ẹ̀wọ̀rọ̀ ọba sáyẹn nísìnyí lágbègbè ní spíkà ọ̀pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o ẹ̀fẹ́ máa fi wá máa mu gàrí ẹ̀fẹ́ máa fi wá máa tayín kí a máa jà wọn mọ́ wa ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n tí àǹtí wọn àbí sísítà wọn tó kú lánàá ọgbẹ́dọ̀ hospital kan kò ṣiṣẹ́ wọn ní wọn ní bẹ́ẹ̀dì ibi tó ń gbé lọ wọ́n ti gbé dé mọ́ṣúárì ọkọ̀ ju bọ́dì yẹn sílẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀bẹ̀ no dignity ṣé bá ṣe máa lọ náà nìyẹn àwọn àmọ́ àṣọ yẹn kidnapping ó tún ti padà wọ́n yẹn kidnap àwọn èèyàn back and forth nìyẹn and then you think that the world is going to come and solve our problem. Kí ni kan ayé pẹ̀lú wa solve problem? Kí ni kan Britain láti wá àwa la máa solve problem ara wa? Àwa la máa solve problem ara wa. But èmi kàn má ti lọ máa mú àwọn òbí tí mi bá ti rí pé ó dà pé lè náà ṣé kí lẹ rí sẹ́yìn ni omi? Because a former Indian politician convicted of kidnapping has been shot dead Let's go further quickly. Can we move further? Atik Ahmed, who was under the police escort, was talking to reporters when a gun was pulled close to his head in Paraje, also known as Alaba. After the shots were fired on Saturday night, 3 men who had been posing as journalists quickly surrendered and were taken to custody. Wasalo, Ahmed's teenage son was shot dead by police days earlier. Dozens of cases, including kidnapping, murder, extortion, were registered against Atik Ahmed over the last 20 years. A local court sentenced him and 2 others to life jail in March this year in a kidnapping case. Ahmed had previously claimed there was a threat to his own life from the police. Video show Ahmed and his brother, both in handcuffs, speaking to journalists on their way to a medical checkup at the hospital seconds before they were shot dead. In the footage shared widely on social media and TV channels, Ahmed is asked whether he attended his son's funeral. His last word to the camera, "They did not take us, so we did not go." The 3 suspected assailants had arrived in the site on a motorcycle, the police said. A policeman and a journalist were also injured at the scene. Following Saturday's night, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath ordered a judicial probe into the killings and banned large gatherings in the district. So that is about it. So who is he? He had a long stint in politics, just like all your criminal Yoruba politicians, with a criminal world. He was accused. He was accused in a murder case in 1979. In the next 10 years, he emerged as a person who had strong influence in the western part of Alibada city. He won his first election as an independent candidate and became a state lawmaker in 1989. He went on to win the seat for 2 consecutive times, and his 4th win came as a lawmaker from the regional Samajiwa. So this is the same trend that is happening in Nigeria. They just keep coming back. They just keep coming back. So when you look at these, right, it is just as the same of what is happening in the present Yoruba country, the Yoruba state, and the current Nigeria as we speak. Because we know that, evidence has pointed out to so many cases similar to these within the Yoruba land. Let's leave that. I've given you enough information. At least so let's come back to the reality again. Unemployment. Kí ló ń fa unemployment? Mo ń sọ nǹkan kan mo ní transition. So there's going to be a new transition. Some of our Yoruba people are very excited. They are happy. They want to make sure that bàbá tó ń bọ̀ yìí Yagarudi, bàbá tó le. As we speak right now, nobody knows his location. Because I want to witness what is meant to be witnessed. Kò sí tó ń bọ̀ láyé tí ayé yóò rí gbà. Kìnní kan ṣẹlẹ̀, a fi ń dẹ́rù bọ̀ lọ́rọ̀ ni. Sí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀. Èyí tó ṣẹlẹ̀, ẹ mọ̀ pé social media gan ní sí àwọn kan míì tá àgbà pàdé rí wà kàn ayé. Especially àwọn bíi TikTok, Instagram, a kò máa gbé àwọn fídíò míì jáde. Ó ń ṣe ti Nàìjíríà ni mo sọ because bí ẹ̀mí ti máa ń travel around the world. Àkọ́ra àwọn nǹkan míì máa that's the beauty of technology. So nǹkan tí wọ́n rò pé kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí, ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ dáadáa. Ara ẹ̀ ní ilé tí mo sọ fún ẹ. So rẹ́ni tó ń sọ pé utterances mi kí ni kan utterances mi ṣé kò dájú èyí tí British ṣe fún wa lọ tá fi kó wa sínú this bomb bastard unification. Ṣé in táwọn British wá ṣe fún wa ìwọ mọ tó ṣe fún wa ṣé ẹlòmíràn tẹ̀ mọ́ tó ṣe fún wa when it comes to the slave trade. Hello slave trade. Èmi dé Liverpool mo lọ sínú building ó jẹ́ kí n record shinap làwọn bàbá mi gbà tó fi tàwa dànù. Èyí ṣe wà sọ pé kìíní. But ìdí tí gbogbo wọn fẹ́ kí peace wà ní pé because tí indigenous people ní different part of the world bá ti padà síbi ibi bákan ni gbogbo àṣẹ wà. Mo dáhùn pé Sudan yẹn tó bí gan. wàhálà ló wọ́n sọ fún mi ní kí mo fi ṣeré because later mo á rí náà nínú ibi tí mo ti ń check àwọn flight so no flight is going to Sudan mo padà bọ̀ ẹ̀dá tó move sí Sudan àwọn kan ní èdè la máa sọ̀rọ̀ Sudan because since everybody is under my radar with the software ta ló máa lọ Sudan mo ní visa Sudan àwọn kan tó náà fi lọ Sudan bí àwọn ọmọ kan wọ́n ń jà níbẹ̀ ní kò tẹ̀ yé mo ní visa Sudan kọ́mẹ́ǹtì tó wà lábẹ́ kò ń ṣe kékeré. Let's look at some of the incidents that has happened. Tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì bá ní òun ò ní gbà, táráàlú náà bá sọ pé òun ò ní gbà, then it will become, bọ̀ ìjà tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ní Sudan. Airport lélẹ̀ ẹ wo fídíò tó máa lò. There's a lot of videos nítorí ló ti BBC. A lè lo Al Jazeera àwọn máìlì tí wọn BBC bí gẹ̀ẹ́sì mentality yẹn náà ní gbogbo ẹ yẹ ká wo Al Jazeera rẹ. The live blog is now closed. Thank you for joining us. Read the video. That can also on Twitter. Everybody's talking now. America is talking. Everybody's talking.
Good evening. I'm John Yang. Tonight, control of the North African nation.
Our presenter, I do not own the copyright. Sorry, Benny, ẹ bá ra àwọn èèyàn lábẹ́ tweet yẹn, lábẹ́ comment rather. Mr. Koiki, mo mind ẹ fún mi ní visa Sudan ni wọ́n jà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kàn ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ ni. I don't do visa. I don't know anything about visa. Báwọn ọmọ tó ń bá mi ṣiṣẹ́ bá pè lẹ́yìn pé a lè bá yín ṣe visa ọ̀gá wà ní London ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọ ọmọ gọ̀ nìyẹn àti wá àti ẹ̀. I don't know anything about visa. Tó bá wọ UK mo lè sọ fún ẹ pé connect pẹ̀lú àwọn ilé báyìí lọ báyìí èmi àti ìyàwó mi ń jà ó dà pé àwọn alájà pé bàbá ọkọ̀ ìdọ́rùn kò sí lọ pé o fẹ́ wá sí UK èmi náà dáhùn tó fẹ́ wá sí UK tí wọ́n fún ní visa but he attempted ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ pé kò lè ṣe gbogbo aláma lè dé bíbà. I pray you all leave Nigeria but so possible ṣá tá bá fi Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀ tá fi ìlú wa sílẹ̀ then that means àti gbé fún Fúlàní nìyẹn àwọn bomb bastard politician àwọn ìtọ́fẹ́ nìyẹn. That's what they want and that's what some of our àwọn mo sọ fún yín pé bàbá kan tó jẹ́ mo fi dárúkọ wọn ọmọ wọn ṣẹ̀ ṣe graduation àgbà ni wọ́n á béèrè pé ṣé àfà yẹn ṣé ọmọ ẹ̀ nígbà tó ń ṣe lecture fún 3 years tí kò ní bá oríṣiríṣi èèyàn jókòó ìyẹn mo ṣe sọ pé ìjẹ̀sìn is a different thing entirely. So violence ṣe gbọ́n kọ́tọ́kọ́ sílẹ̀ violence in Sudan èmi náà like violence. Èmi náà like violence. alẹ́ ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ Mr. Ògúnníran Samuel Taiwo ẹ bá mi expatiate dáadáa nítorí mo fẹ́ sọ alẹ́ ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú kọ́mẹ́ǹtì yìí.
Sudan appears to be up for grabs after months of rising tensions. Sudanese military and a powerful paramilitary force led by rival generals engaged in fierce fighting, including in the capital city of Khartoum. Details are hard to come by, but a doctors group says at least 25 people are dead and nearly 200 injured. People sheltering from the fighting say they saw gunfire in the streets and heard fighter jets overhead. Black smoke billowed throughout the capital and houses were left in ruins from shelling. The paramilitary force claims it has seized the presidential palace and the airport. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, traveling today in Vietnam, called for an end to the...
Let me pause it there. Nobody prays for war. And nobody prays for it to happen. But in this madness of unification, tí sọ̀rọ̀ sókè padà mo fẹ́ mọ ẹ̀ńtẹ́ ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ ni o kí ni mo ṣe fẹ́ respond mo tún fẹ́ náà another chance, so wọ́n fún mi one more chance kẹ rectify Interson, or I'm talking to somebody, or whatever your name is. This unification that we are facing today is going to bring war into Nigeria if care is not taken. You might not like these utterances like any other platform. I've told you from day one, I am not the other platforms. This is my own platform. These unification, as you can see there, happened in 1914. Unification. According to the computer science, I'm going to build on another level. Just as Google is saying here. In logic and computer science, unification is an algorithmic process of solving equations between symbolic expressions, depending on which expressions are allowed to occur in an equation set. Expression yoda, momentum beru, baso aku, baso amaku, so kile wan beru. Oh, and beru pe fun torí tèmi. Okay, understand. But ẹ jẹ́ kí n bá yín sọ so that kí ìjà yẹn má di ilé tẹ̀ ń wò yìí. Because ariwo tí mò ń pa yìí, tí a bá sọ wọn ní kò dáadáa, àwọn Yorùbá politician will probably think it's not going to happen. Àwọn tilẹ̀ Igbo wọ́n mọ̀ kó máa ṣẹlẹ̀, ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ níbẹ̀rẹ̀. Whether we like it or not. Nígbà yẹn, àwa ṣì believe in one Nigeria. But we still have millions, because over 3 million of Yoruba people voted in this last election. So, Ali, sọ pé gbogbo wa la fẹ́ lọ, gbogbo wa la believe pé ká lọ. Àwọn kan get the understanding, àwọn kan dẹ̀ get it. Àbọ̀rọ̀ wòye nísìnyí. Àwọn kan understand it, but níjọ́ tí sùúrù bá ti tú sílẹ̀, that is going to be the news worldwide. But before that, this unification, we must unbundle it without a fight. We don't want Ogun, but something is still unification. Báwo la ṣe wá fi solve it? Because the three major regions, that is the southeast, the north, and the southwest, this unification is no longer working. And it's been playing out since 1960. Unification. And you say you don't want war. And you're operating this unification under the fraudulent 1999 Constitution. You're operating this unification with subjugation. You're operating unification where people are being marginalized. You're operating unification, and you expect us to live side by side with over 500 people speaking different languages. How? How does that have anything to do with Tinubu? How does that have anything to do with all these criminal politicians that are parading themselves as our leaders in this unification? Should we keep this unification, or should we destroy it? Unification. Should we do it peacefully? Unification. Are we going to go through unification? How do we unbundle these 1914 bastard amalgamation that they were using the surplus, just as we are the one putting the surplus of Nigeria from the southwest to the remaining part of Nigeria? And those surplus is not giving you a better life. You that are already complaining all the time. That's why I say that by May 29, oh God of blessing, for any projection, but but I know that is all lie, because we know that 2023 or doing, because the projection is that the country is not growing. 40.6% of you will never get a job. And one of the major reasons is because the bomb bastard politician in Yoruba land and in that crazy Nigeria did not industrialize Nigeria as far back as 1960, just after the whole regional system collapsed. And they've deceived everybody that we will make Nigeria to work, but everything is now going to be Federal Republic of Nigeria. And they've used that to 419 everybody. So everybody have been 419 from the time they told us it is called the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because there's nothing federal. Because every money, just as they were making the money, make as far back as 1914, and the British saw that, and they were saying that Northerner, let us join you together, and that is why we are called Nigeria today. And you want to die for Nigeria, you don't even know what you are dying for. And this is why we are explaining back to back in the way it will not get to this. Because by the time it gets to this, it's going to be a different ballgame entirely. Let's go back to this video.
The violence. It's a fragile situation. This is a real opportunity to finally carry forward the civilian-led transition, and one that we and other countries are trying to...
When they're lying, you can tell. He's not looking at the camera. He's a big man when it comes to America. And don't sorry. He's on the Secretary of State. It's the best position that you can get. You travel around the world representing the country. But you could tell that he's not speaking to us in a very clean heart. You could tell. I'm going to rewind it again. Currently, they're all in China. China and Japan for these G7, whatever. Yoruba no le wà G7. Biafra le wà G7. Bidibet le wà G7. We can be part of the G7 as well. But unfortunately, we are where we are today because we are not representing who we are. We are representing what we are not. What we are is Yoruba people, Yoruba Kingdom, or the Yoruba Republic, whatever we want to call it. But we are representing Nigeria, but that is not taking us anywhere. So let's listen again to Blinken.
The violence. It's a fragile situation. This is a real opportunity to finally carry forward the civilian-led transition, and one that we and other countries are trying to bolster. In December, Sudanese political parties agreed to move toward a democracy after an October.
You heard that, in December, they're planning to move to democracy. Some of you might not know, the background to all these, Sudan crisis, but I'm sure you all know Bashir. He was the leader then, he was overthrown, blah, 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 blah. Just as Nigeria continue, the world is happy in a way that, our transition is going as planned. And that's why we come back here and say,
transition.
Transition is when a government goes and another government comes and there's no crisis. We are praying, for those of you that are praying, that there will not be crisis until Tinubu becomes the president, and hopefully for the time he's going to be there, the Yoruba people must not bring crisis, the Igbo people must not bring crisis, all the internal crisis, Tinubu will sit on the round table, he will probably release the Kano, he will probably tell Igbo to come back home, but do not talk about Yoruba nation. It's not going to happen. So there's no way we will run away from even the transition that is about to take place. It don't happen in transition, it with the process or a period of changing from one state or condition to the another. Transition no ni wọ́n fi ṣe níbi ìbàdàn nísìn tí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn bá mú ọ. Gbogbo àlà ń sọ pé Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ ká dé stage yìí. Àwọn yẹn náà ń pe Ọlọ́run. Ìyẹn mi sọ fún yín pé ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run ẹja àgbàsẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan. Ẹ máa ká deceive ara wa. Ṣẹ́rí àwa fact and reality ni. Ẹ forget about gbogbo Ọlọ́run tí tán Maradona in Nigeria. Because there's a push in Nigeria right now that things are not going according to how it's meant to go. And it's just a matter of how and when everything will just boom. So pé à ń pọ̀ Ọlọ́run jọ Ọlọ́run má jà rí o Ọlọ́run jà èmi fẹ́yìn tẹ́ ń pọ̀ Ọlọ́run èmi náà bá ń pọ̀ Ọlọ́run. But in reality, there is too many problems that these
unification,
we must unbundle it. First and foremost, We've asked for restructure of the country. They've sat down, they've spent money. Jonathan did one. I'm sure a lot of you remember that. I think Obasanjo did one. I can't remember too much. But there've been a lot of all this, let's sit down and decide Nigeria. If we are still going to be together, I'm talking about then, even before Yoruba Nation, let's decide how we want this to work. What they are doing now, all these bomb bastard politicians, they are trying to amend the fraudulent military decree 1999 constitution. And you want us all to live side by side inside Nigeria, where you think that Tinubu will come and run 1999 constitution on the head of the people in Benue State. Even if we are saying that Tinubu will be able to stop the influx of terrorism, because he will say, I am the president. I will bring a Yoruba man, he will be the chief of defense staff, and he will do as I tell him. Okay. And then he will now also use the 1999 constitution to solve all the problem in Nigeria. You must be mad. You must be drinking ogogoro. Ogogoro no mu, because you will understand it. The reason and why a country operates is based on this bastard constitution that is going to take your life backwards instead of moving it forward. So ìwọ tó ń sọ pé Tinubu máa wá ṣe fún ẹ, Tinubu máa tún wá lo 1999 constitution tí wọ́n rí lò láti fi tọ́jú ayé ẹ for over 23 years láti 1999. You now believe at the back of your head ó dà pé a gbọ́dọ̀ fi àgbọn a gbọ́dọ̀ fọmọ ẹ lórí. Because tí wọn ò bá mú àgbọn, ọmọ máa ń pè ní àgbọn coconut ló pè bẹ́ẹ̀, mo gbọ́dọ̀ mú coconut kí n fọmọ ẹ lórí. Because the constitution tí wọ́n sọ yẹn, Tinubu will not be able to change it. Tinubu kọ́ ló ní power ọ̀dẹ̀. Lórí tó ń fún mi lómi, ọ̀ṣà máa gbọ́n, mo gbọ́dọ̀ fún àgbọn mọ́ ẹ lórí. Because Tinubu ò ní lè change the constitution yìí, ó gbọ́dọ̀ lọ sí Senate, ó gbọ́dọ̀ lọ sí House, ó gbọ́dọ̀ lọ gbàṣẹ lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Màá dẹ̀ sọ fún ẹ pé kò lè ráṣẹ yẹn gbà. You can always go on our website, and this is, this document, profession is there. It's called www.koikimedia.com. The Buffy support one, all you need to do, go towards the end. That's how you can support us. And those of you that have our old account, like I said, it is now been updated so that in case you are sending money there, it's coming back or whatever. Keep in touch with the new details. So it's all there. But what I want to talk about is the Yoruba document files. You see a lot of things there, but it's got to do with how you, with your coconut head, think that the 1999 constitution will be resolved by Tinubu. And when they tell you they are amending that constitution, it is just part of another fraud. So different things are on the website. You can always go there and on. Mr. Koiki, Kimbuni Yoruba Nation Day. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan náà ń bí mi nígbà tí mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ lálẹ́ lọ́sàn-án. Ìwé London ni wọ́n wà. Ọ̀tọ̀ nìkan tó pè mí fún kí àwọn ní ìbọ̀lẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation yẹn dé. Ó tún máa sọ, ó tún sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn non-mentic media kankan tó ń pera wọn ní media. Ìwọ àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ wà níbí báyìí náà wọ́n ní problem. Bó ṣẹ̀dí láti Nàìjíríà. Mo ní ìbí wọ́n ṣẹ̀dí láti Nàìjíríà. Ṣé Nàìjíríà dá nígbà tí wọ́n lọ? Ṣé Nàìjíríà dá? Ká tẹ̀ sọ pé Tinubu máa lè change gbogbo the narrative that man sọ fún yẹn Muslim ló wà níbẹ̀, which he will do. Will probably remove as many of them. He will try to amend it, just to satisfy the Igbo people. I don't think Tinubu is going to put an Igbo. He'll be stupid anyway if he does that, because we don't love the Igbo people. So Tinubu is not going to put an Igbo person as the chief of army staff. He'll probably put a Yoruba man. He'll probably change the chief of naval staff and say, okay, maybe another Yoruba man. DSS, mo ní ìdìbẹ̀ nítorí tí bá ti pa àwọn èèyàn, mo gbọ́dọ̀ rẹ tó máa support mi láti máa protect mi káfí Yorùbá náà síbẹ̀. Director of it, I'm just now giving you the background of what Tinubu is going to give you. But what he cannot do, he will not be able to change this. He will be able to change this problem because these are our problem. We the people, the imposition of the fraudulent 1999 constitution, Tinubu will not be able to change that. So if you are praying that Tinubu is going to change the constitution, that means pé ìwọ àti babaláwo ẹ ìrọ̀lẹ́ pa fún wa. That means pé ibi tẹ́ ti ń mu pepper soup, tẹ́ fi wá obìnrin rọ́bìnrin rẹ máa gbé lọ́lé, ìbẹ̀lẹ̀ tí ń dì sí bàrà yín. Tinubu cannot change the 1999 constitution. And into the thing, something fix it, to my people, richer omugo. You are jobless. Jobless people. Jobless people is because nobody has prepared Nigeria youth that is going to complete university, but in 2023, no job is coming for you. But I'm talking about the 1999 fraudulent constitution. Topic guide the Tinubu to ma fi ṣe ìjọba. Mo ti sọ gbèsè tó wà lórí Nàìjíríà 42 trillion naira ní gbèsè tí Nàìjíríà jẹ. Àìtí san gbèsè àìtí san kí ló máa ń pè kí ní la ṣe ń san interest. Ìwọ náà ṣáà ti yáwó lápò, ó ṣàmọ bó ṣe ń lọ yá 1,000 naira ọ̀sán fún ó ti di 5,000. 1,000 yẹn gangan ó tí ò ní san 4,000 lórí ẹ̀ ló ṣe ń san bó bá dẹ̀ ṣe san lọ́n àdìmọ́ òun ní gbèsè Nàìjíríà. So 42 trillion naira ní gbèsè Nàìjíríà. So Tinubu ò lè san níjọ́ kan tó bá débẹ̀, kò lè san in 8 years because debt ni, and that debt has not given us anything back because epo tí ẹ̀ ń gbé jáde by the time tí ìdí táwọn ọmọ Niger Delta ò ṣe get involved sínú ọ̀rọ̀ pé ká break Nàìjíríà, àwọn tó ń polo, àwọn àsáré àdókòbọ̀, gbogbo àwọn tí epo wà, àwọn ni wọ́n fún ní contract máa tọ́jú ẹ̀. Ẹ rántí pé gbà kan náà fẹ́ fún bàbá tiwa náà nísàlẹ̀, bàbá wa Ìbà Gani Adams. Àmì bí gbogbo ẹ ṣe lọ. So tó bá dẹ̀ ti fún ẹnì kankan ní contract náà bá wa monitor pipeline, ìwọ náà ti ń jẹun nìyẹn, jẹun sókè. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti ń jẹun sókè ò gbọ́dọ̀ bájọbájà. Because inú ibẹ̀ náà ló máa ra ìbọn. Ẹni tó ń tọ́jú pipeline ó gbọ́dọ̀ ní ìbọn gidi lọ́wọ́. But one thing is, nínú àwọn Niger Delta yìí náà, there are still people that are hungry pé tó ń polo nìkan ló ń jẹun, àwọn náà rí jẹ. And when they start bombing the pipeline, that means we don't have enough, which will give us the next export. I would love to see what is going to be the next one. So I don't see our this graph down low. So if you look at the export that left Nigeria, I'm not talking about the import. Import in Kontako Wale because the Buruku Niko export in Kokon. No, sorry. Yeah. Let me take that again. Our export, we can need more crude oil. We can be 100% in it. So we drop 72.5% because one blow pipeline in Tofani. And if we continue in Nigeria, even under Tinubu, it does not guarantee pé kò ní sáwọn tó máa blow pipeline. Bàbá dẹ̀ ti blow pipeline sí epo tí ń jáde, ó máa reduce the production. So the problem is that in tó fún Nàìjíríà ní owó tó pọ̀ ju òmùgọ̀ òun lépo. And that's why àwọn tí wọ́n mọ̀ nípa sector yẹn wá jẹun tí Jésù máa fi fẹ́ dé àdànà because they are going to continue. They will become powerful because crude petroleum is giving Nigeria the biggest revenue in terms of our export. And that's why Tompolo, I don't want to go into too much details, but we have been told from the inside that Tompolo doesn't want Nigeria to break. Small boy in Tompolo, Tompolo ò fi darapọ̀ mọ́ ká break in Nigeria because ó ń jẹ mùlá lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, owó tó ń jẹ kò ń ṣòwò peanut. Because tó bá blow pipeline, Nigeria government máa bínú. And that's why ẹ rántí pé Yar'Adua láti lọ fún wọn ní amnesty. Because nígbà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí blow pipeline, tó bá dẹ̀ ti ń blow pipeline, it becomes a problem. Bó ṣe ń blow ẹ̀ lọ́n fix it. So those of you that are thinking that there will be a magic wand tí Tinubu bá débẹ̀ in 8 years, you must be crazy. The pressure cooker tó wà ní Nigeria nísìnyí is going to continue even after Tinubu another 8 years. Kí Tinubu ṣe 8 years náà, kó tó fún another extra 8 years. 16 years, we cannot solve the problem. Àwọn kan máa bèèrè pé bọ̀ kó ìkìtà bá wá break, báwo la ṣe máa ní revenue, báwo la ṣe máa ṣayé ara wa. Ìyẹn is another topic because that means pé àwa là ń control ìtàbáni nígbà yẹn. Gbèsè tábà dẹ̀ jẹ́ wọ́n máa pinlé gbogbo wa lórí àmà lọ sán, but we will now have a better opportunity than being in Nigeria. A better opportunity, as we say in Nigeria right now. So the problem is bubbling. Let's come back again and just don't forget there is still this word
transition,
and don't forget this word
unification.
Ọ̀rọ̀ méjì tá ń lò lálẹ́ yìí. A dẹ̀ ń lo Bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀, Ìgbòho, Fáṣọlá àti Bàbá Adébánjọ emeritus. So we must have it at the back of our mind that this constitution, I need to play video, let it shulale and go mejila bodeti. My name is Koiki and this is live transmission. So, but if you are saying that even the problem, because in everything there's a problem. Nigeria is a problem based on the 1914 amalgamation. But some of the reason that people are saying that this problem is getting bigger, and they can drop a little there, is because the North have been able for a very long time control the juicy position. But with the Tinubu now, some are saying it will change that sector, even if it's just for the period of time Tinubu wants to there, which it would do. Number one, it would, presently, I think the Minister of Justice is a Yoruba man. Buhari Tigbewole Sibe, Chief Justice of Nigeria, or whatever, yeah, Chief Justice. I think he's a Yoruba man now. But Minister of Justice is Abubakar Malami. So even if we don't know how Tinubu is going to bring in this new, Chief of whatever, Director of SSS, NIA, blah blah blah, but it will make some changes. But it cannot change this. That's the problem. And when they economy problem here too much, and when is just a position that, let's say, Senate man doesn't want anybody to represent, even if they're criminal as well. The Senate will bow and say, hey, just take a bow. Hey, take a bow. Hey, Tunde Fashola, hey, take a bow, take a bow, take a bow. Hey, you need that sort of. I'm sure you've all seen that happening in that Senate, where I will be telling you more about the Senate in this graph. The problem that we are facing is our Yoruba politician to watch him bad Nigeria. And I've told you from the beginning that Sheti Fashola is he going to come out at the age of 76, 16 years from today? Tinubu has 8 years now. Because Tinubu has only 8 years. Then he goes back to the north. I want to say 8 years. But Igbo is that not going to end up to this? Let's come back here. I'm still coming back to my graph as well. All these graphs, you can read it for, and download it on koikimedia.com. But for now, let's come back here again. Violence in Sudan.
Over 2021 military coup. In Japan, an explosion just...
No. Not take me where I don't want to go. I'm still looking for more story from Sudan. Let's go. Let's go on Twitter. Twitter will be much better for me. Twitter. Marimo on Twitter. Sudan. So let's see what is the latest from Sudan. We don't pray for war, but it is what it is. And different people are saying different things. Let's see what Ifafun Shaw is saying. I think I read that some few hours ago, because I'm on Twitter back to back with my brother African Confidential, and some few of our mothers as well are there. And I've been why is this? That's my screen on Instagram. Let's play something. I need to stand up. Bro. Oh, yeah, stand up. Let's just play something. I can play it. Bro. Once again, you're still watching a live transmission. We've done almost 2 hours, 20 minutes. Oh, wow. It's already done so much already. I'm just going to be using the... Okay, let's quickly see what Ifafun Shaw says here. There's a coup going on in Sudan. A few months ago, Sudan gave permission to the Russian government to build a base in the Red Sea. The West are retaliating back on what they know best by using Sudanese against themselves. I hope all the Sudan citizens stay safe. Anthony Blinken, we had him earlier on. I spoke with the Sovereign Council Chair General after Boma today to highlight U.S. support for Sudanese democratic aspiration and to urge the swift formation of a civilian. The way down side, oh yeah, then nobody's listening. But we are telling them that America, we don't want the situation of what is happening now in Sudan to come to Nigeria. But if they don't listen, then the chances of that is just, I don't know. You all know what I mean. Ejeka took another comment delivered. This person also went to say the West has exported, this is Benidan Demola. The West has exported Cold War to Sudan. It is not new. They did it in Congo, Libya, etc. Africa has always been a battlefield where the foreign powers fight over our minerals, and it is Africans who lose their lives for it. And we know that the reason why we were amalgamated is nothing more than for economic reasons. And we are telling the British government that, look, this economic reason, why not work with Biafra separately, work with the North separately, the Middle Belt, the Yoruba? If Nigeria is going to split to 8 countries, do you know what they are telling us? They are saying something different. And that will take me back quickly again to my website and open another letter that we saw that, during last year, in terms of the response from the British government, when some of us asked them, about their support or whatever to Yoruba nation. And I think this one was sent to someone that I received, and it says there, I am replying to Minister for Africa and Latin America and the Caribbean. The UK government shares your constituent concerns about the range of security challenges Nigerian faces. Well, they are concerned, but by the time you do close, then that concern will now be a different situation because Britain is concerned, but they were concerned when they were putting us together, in this,
unification.
Because the reason why we are where we are today, that the British is now saying their concern, is because of this 1914 amalgamation, which has taken us backwards as Yoruba people and has forced where there is no unity among every one of us. And since we don't want to go through the route of what we are looking right now, okay, this is the Sudan. You can see there's a lot of movement, the military, different, whether it's the Sudanese one, I don't know, whether this one or the government one. But I can't verify this video of saying, okay, these are the fearful Egyptian soldiers that have surrendered. So you can tell that soldier gone sórí wọn ọ̀tá wọn lè ti surrender. So they become prisoners of war. So let's look at, I can't verify this video as well, I've seen it, but I can't verify it, I don't know how true that is. So let's look for another video. Okay, let's watch this one. In any situation, should this break out in Nigeria, the Nigerian government will have the firepower from the Navy up there, but they will not be able to control the bottom. They can bomb so many places, but the question is, one, they control Isalemo, and the moment it gets to this stage, forget it, there's no more Nigeria. But we can do it without getting to this stage by proper roundtable conversation. But if that is not going to happen. The building of the General Command of the Sudan Armed Forces in Khartoum after the conflict. You can see how it looks like. But it can be done and it cannot be done. If we sit down and unbundle these
unification.
But if our politicians from Nigeria, from both different parts of Nigeria, whether in the southeast, the middle, or the northern part, continue to bring this narrative of we will keep Nigeria together. You can't force us together. We don't want to live together. We cannot be forced to live under it together, even if that is what the British want. And let's read what the letter came, and this was around August 2022. The UK government shares your constituent concerns about the range of security challenges Nigeria faces, which includes violence. Did you hear that? So the British government is not denying that there's not. So in this sort of violence, the British government agrees with me that as of today, there is violence in Southwest, which is Yoruba land, in Ogun State, in Lagos, in Ondo State, Osun State, Kwara State, Ekiti State, and Oyo State. So whenever you come on this program, I'm telling you that violence is something that happens. It is happening. So stop coming and be telling me, my utterances is this and that. This letter from the British government, which is the foreign, foreign whatever, blah, 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 that is here, Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, where they have, as at then Vicky Ford, the Minister for Africa, is telling me, koikimedia, that the UK government shares your constituent, constituent concerns about the range of security challenges Nigeria faces, which includes violence in the Southwest. This is having a devastating impact on affected communities. If violence, then it is important that we talk to ourselves in a proper way, like Omoluabi. But the bomb-bastard Yoruba politicians are not ready to talk to each other. They're not ready to talk to us. They are thinking that they are powerful until everything starts collapsing on their head. Because by the time they start, a building team will show you can see the building. And this is how the building was destroyed. So everybody in bombing. We don't have to go through that route. We can do it without a war. We can do it without opening a fire. And that is what Babakito is saying. This is the aircraft. By the time there's an aircraft explosion at Muritala Mohammed Airport, forget it. No airline will risk the life of their citizen to travel to Lagos Muritala Mohammed Airport. Not even Abuja Airport. Not any part of the airport, because it is still the same airspace. And this is why tonight, every flight has been cancelled out of Khartoum Airport. You know why? 3 aircraft have been bombed. Let's listen to this. Aircraft, don't join it. We don't have to get to this stage. We can talk, but our politicians are thinking that, they're not. Okay, so look at that. All right. Not sure why. But one thing I can tell us is, if we don't do what we are meant to do right now, trust me, there will be fight, there will be war, whether we want war or not. But it seems that our politicians care less, and that is going to drag everybody into a war. Nigerians might not want to see these kind of images, But if you don't want to see this kind of images, it is important that we all understand that these 1914 amalgamation, these
unification
would end up like this, because you don't want the Igbo people to be part of Nigeria. And we all know that. So why are we deceiving ourselves? We don't want the Igbo people. The Yoruba people don't want the Igbo people. You don't like the Igbo people. Instagram, the phone actually disconnected itself. So since we don't want the Igbo people to be part of Nigeria, then is it not possible that we all come on a round table and face the reality? Or do you want to have this situation where you will not be able to go to Nigeria, and those in Nigeria will have to also face the consequence? It does not matter how. Tinubu will not be able to stop what is about to start, because the continuity, the hatred that has been there is not today. You might say that the Igbo have their own as well. We have our own as well. Everybody have their own. But the question is, this unity is no longer visible, but we are living in denial. And everybody is protecting their own. Everybody wants to protect their own. And that is what we're playing. But this is Sudan Khartoum Airport, where aircraft have been bombed and nobody's going there for now. And you can see that's a Saudi Arabia aircraft. That's another aircraft. 2 aircraft that are meant to take off. And look, and that's what we're saying to our people. We can still go through this protest. We can do the rallies. Fair enough. It's still better than a war. We can have 1 million people right in front of Muritala Mohammed Airport, and no aircraft will go if we all go and rush into the, onto the tarmac. Tabani, even if we have 10,000 people, Taba Yawo Airport, Yawori Tarmac, flight to flight, because international community might pick it. Airport was undestructed. I've seen the videos. Taba Yawo Airport, Lale, Nissin, Tamobashima Yawo Bewa 10,000. Put that one lane you bomb because international focus now on the we can use that. Taba Yawo Port Authority, deductive ship on the land. Tab make sure people signal the ship with the land and switch it off. Because we need the signal at the land. Taba ship here for 1 week. Nigerian government will talk. Whatever they say, I want to say, the control down Weibo machine. The control tower face the control down Weibo machine. This is the presidential palace as well. Let's take over. And that's why we are saying that there is still room for discussion. So all this is what is happening, as you see right there, But no matter what happened, they will still come to the round table. So why do we need to fight? Because if you go to what I told you about the Houthis have been fighting for a very long time, but there is now diplomatic discussion going on between them and likewise, their government to resolve, the problem. You can see there, hundreds of Houthis prisoners and 16 Saudis are freed on the day 2 of the swap. After so much lives, after people have been killed, after places have been destroyed. But if they didn't get to that stage, maybe this discussion is not going to happen. If we are saying, Koiki, destroy airport, forget it. About destroy it and build it in. But if we are saying that we don't want to go through that route, then do you think the international community will get involved? They will just be telling you that there is peace in Nigeria, there is democracy in Nigeria, just as the British government is telling you, yeah, they know that there is violence in Nigeria, but they are saying that they don't. And let me quickly read this, I don't move away from it again. This is having a devastating impact on affected communities. The UK government condemns all violence against civilians in Nigeria, including that which affect Yoruba community. They specifically say that it affects Yoruba communities. But what do? While security in Nigeria is the responsibility of the Nigerian government, it's not the responsibility of the British government, but it is the responsibility of the British government because they forced this on us.
Unification.
Because if there was no 1914 amalgamation, I will not be talking about insecurity in Yoruba land. So if my people are saying that, if they protest, then ogun ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Ọ̀nà méjì ni. Tabani, if they protest, well, British government is already telling you that it's been affecting us. And the only way we can stop it, let's block everything we need to block. No, okay? I am just giving my own views, but the views of our leaders might be different. So I want us to always clear that. View to media, not the view of IGBOHO, not the view of our leaders. I am just saying that is what I see in the way forward. Because if not, we're just going to be talking. Whereas these ones now, they fight for so long. Now they're doing what they call prisoner swap. An exchange of nearly 900 prisoners from the Yemen civil war started on April 14, the biggest swap since 2020. According to the Saudi Arabia and the Yemeni Houthi rebels have now freed hundreds of prisoners of war as part of a multi-day exchange amid concerted effort to end the Yemen 8-year-old war. Tíjà bá bẹ́lẹ̀ ní South East, forget the ìjà tó máa bẹ́lẹ̀ ń ṣe ìjà 1 year. It could last 2 years, it could last 3 years. Ayé á ṣe máa lọ, but ìjà máa ṣẹlẹ̀ because federal government ò ní fẹ́ gbà. And in tó bá dẹ̀ ti mú kíjà yẹn kó bẹ̀rẹ̀, they are not going to surrender. They will fight to the last man standing. Táwa bá náà fẹ́ jà ọmọlúwàbí ni wọ́n, it's okay. Àwọn wá diplomatic, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ àtètè rí. Ọwọ́ Ọlọ́run ló wà, ọwọ́ Elédùmarè ló wà. But one thing is, we cannot control the narrative of how the Biafra wants to go. Because one thing I know is, 8 years war, they are now coming back on the round table. Because Saudi ò fẹ́ gbọ́, àwọn yẹn náà lè fẹ́ gbà, àwọn tó ń back àwọn ilé. A lè ní kò sáwọn tó ń back Biafra, tíjà bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ la máa rí gbogbo ẹ̀ o. A lè náà ráwọn tó ń back Yorùbá, tíjà bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ la máa mọ̀. But none of them is going to bring their face out now. Saudi Arabia came out openly and said, àwọn fẹ́ make sure pé government Yemen tó wà ń bẹ̀ làwọn fẹ́. Àwọn aráàlú kan dẹ̀ náà wọ́n fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ètò fàjà nìyẹn. Ètò dẹ̀ dá gbogbo wàhálà yìí sílẹ̀ is because of the revolution tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní 2011 ní Tunisia. Òun ló dé lóyún náà. But tonight, I hope, because I don't want us to go too much, we will continue to come and talk about this, topic, back. Change headline here so that we can. I've already done 2.5 hours now. I don't want to go more than 3 hours. So, just to complete this quickly. So, while security in Nigeria is the responsibility of the Nigerian government, I would like to reassure your constituents that I have discussed their response to insecurity with the Nigerian authorities on a number of occasions. Most recently, with the Foreign Minister Onyema and the Vice President Osibajo when I visited Nigeria in February. This was last year. I also raised this issue with the Nigerian National Security Advisor, General Mongono, another Fulani man, or probably Tinubu will remove that person and bring a Yoruba man or Igbo man or Middle, we don't know. During the inaugural dialogue of the UK-Nigeria Security and Defense Partnership in February, The Prime Minister also discussed insecurity with the President at the Commonwealth Head of State. It is important to note that the perpetrators of violence do not come from one ethnic or religious group. So they agree that we are not people, but we are ethnic. So we are different. But the British knew that, and they went and
unification,
put us together as one entity. So finally, your constituent calls for the UK government to recognize an independent Yoruba nation for where only recognize it. How do we expect the British government to recognize Yoruba nation, when there's still a sovereign nation? Nobody do that. Okay, we'll be able to see. Juju nìyẹn now, because Taban sọ pé à ń fẹ́ kí wọ́n recognize wa. Àìtí David Gbasgbos, tábà David Gbasgbos táwa lórí M1. Lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ni British máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ fún Nigerian government kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Kíní ti fẹ́ yàwó. But tonight, everybody knows that there has to be a push. A push is okay. Jẹ́ ká educate àwọn èèyàn wa kọ́ gbọ́ díẹ̀ sí. Fine, there's nothing wrong in that. But we must have to now also tell the international community like the UK that we are asking UK government to come and recognize independent Yoruba nation. Kí ni wọ́n sọ? The UK government respect the territorial integrity of Nigeria. We support the Nigerian government commitment to work for a secure and a prosperous Nigeria for all its citizens, and is committed to working with Nigeria in support of this objective. The UK government will continue to support Nigeria to uphold its responsibility to tackle rising insecurity, whilst also encouraging the Nigerian government to take urgent action to implement long-term. These are the diplomatic words. These are how diplomatic talks about. And we're going to be talking about all this later, but one thing tonight as we start winding down is, the focus tonight again is 2023, you will not get a job. It does not matter who you are. Only that business is there. I don't think you're going to prosper in that business because the currency will continue to be devalued. And in the next 2 months, if government
transition
happen, then prepare for the worst case scenario in terms of the long-term problem of Nigeria, which is the debt, the inflation and all that. So I don't know how much you're buying things now, but whatever you are buying now, take note of the price. In the next about your April kuro, as of May, June, July. By July, prices of things will change. I don't know whether the subsidy will be removed. I don't see that being removed straight away. But if subsidy get removed, petrol price will go up. So prepare for the battle ahead. The battle there is lójú títì, ẹ máa jà nínú àpò yín, NEPA bill máa lọ sókè. Not just in Nigeria, all this is happening as well around the world, but the only difference is the world that we are living is different from the world. I won't be able to take calls tonight. There might be we won't take calls tonight because of the time. But one thing I can say is thank you so much to everyone that have joined us tonight. 3 months from now, and a projection of answer. A lot of you want Yoruba nation. I want it as well as you want it. But one thing is, it does not come as a fair Yoruba nation. It comes with a lot of push. And that's one thing a lot of us must understand. We believe that our leaders in the front will continue to pilot. But even if they are piloting us, in Jawa Funrawa, Awati at the prepare mind, are we ready? Some of you say, but you are outside the country, you can't put that push on us. What? So we come on down the skin. I'm 6,000 kilometers away. So I come at Donon. But one thing is the push where it is a Yoruba nation. I'm not talking to Nigerians now. Only my blessing straight in the next 3 months again. I'm going to survive Buhari 8 years. How do you show, or how do you know you will survive the next 8 years of the government coming? How do you know that? You don't want any hope in it. I don't know. 8 years from now, I will be in my general. I'm out now. I'm about 40 something now. So it's about 8 years. I'll be about 52 years old. Somewhere around there. And I can project my own kọ́lọ́n fún wa lẹ́mìí gígùn kó fún wa lálàáfíà. Tí bá sọ pé mo fẹ́ padà sí yunifásitì ní September pé mo fẹ́ lọ ṣe pé mo fẹ́ ṣe journalist mo fẹ́ tí lọ ṣe kan mí. Maximum I lo 3 years ní uni. Ká tẹ̀ sọ pé mo fẹ́ ṣe ní year yìí mo project for next year. Kọ́lọ́n kó fún wa lẹ́mìí gígùn. I can return back to university. Age mi ò tí ì sọ pé mo lè padà sí school. Kò sí age tí yàn lọ sí school padà láti lọ tó top up. So I will go back next year September. Kí n lè fúnra mi ní time. Family man ni mi. Màá fúnra mi ní space. Mo fi strain ara mi pé September ó ti dé tán. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ lọ university ní year yìí ó gbọ́dọ̀ tí mo ní last year kó o fi lọ. So ìwé mi ní sí mo tí mọ̀ pé mo fẹ́ lọ. But tí bá ní mo fẹ́ lọ ní next year. In 8 years, I would have done better than you that still wants to keep one Nigeria. But if we all push right now, whether I don't even go to that university, we all push it together, we will achieve what we want. Can your own 8 years and mine, do you think that is going to change? If we remain in Nigeria, I don't have to come to Nigeria. I don't have anything, to come and pick in Nigeria. Family we don't want to I saw a WhatsApp video call. It's all about the fún ní visa, how about in the UK? I think I need no me to buy easy for them. But one thing is, we are concerned about that territory. This one. So the little line here, what? It's as simple as that. And on that note, I say shout out to everyone. I'm happy. I've been invited to bury. I should have started a little bit earlier than this, but sometimes the busyness is reason why. All the names as usual, tonight are all probably maybe the ghost listeners. You're always coming to see what I will say, and I always have something to say. So I have just about 12 more minutes. I appreciate everyone. Like I always say, we are going to get to where we are going, but Nigeria itself is going to help us with the push. I can see the pain from all the people that believe in Nigeria. The David Odoye, most of the obedience. They are doing Twitter space all the time, as if that is going to solve the problem. If you like, do Twitter space with 10,000 people listening. Every one of you have been pained. Your expectation, your dreams. Yeah, just a minute. Your dreams have been shattered. Àtíkù àwọn PDP ti gbà ká orí pé Bob D ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ padà ní tiẹ̀ ó ti ń travel káàkiri. So, and this is what we have been telling you, that election was not the best option on the table. But a lot of you thought it was all lies. Okay, when Yawa, okay, we go on Yoruba, pata. Okay, each and every one of us, as I start winding myself down, I don't expect you to believe me. But one thing is, in Tomamu, I believe, bite bit by bit. But our major problem, àwọn tó ń dá ìrìn àjò ìdúró, kò ń ṣe àwọn tó ń ṣe jágbàjàgbà tí inú wọn dùn tán celebrate. Àwọn yẹn máa tó sú wọn, they will understand that they are not, but àwọn tó ń dá dúró gangan òun náà politicians, and they are using different people to hold it back. 3 million Yoruba people that went to vote. I don't see your life changing in the next 8 years. But we will be here because we will be able to document every step, every day. Today is the 17th. A month from now will be 17th of May, and there will be countdown if all goes as planned to the transition of a new government. Having the new government in place is not a problem. The problem is more than that. The West knows the problem. The East knows the problem. The North knows the problem. But we are trying to manage it. Ẹran ti politicians ti mọ ní wọ́n yìnbọn fún ní India. Just as báwọn tí wọ́n náà ṣe operate nìyẹn. They are powerful. The politician bá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kan Nàìjíríà nìsín, ṣòfin kò máa sun prison mọ́jú. Tó bá tẹ̀ sun mọ́jú gan, ẹ̀gà ni. Ṣòrí bọ́ yẹn yìnbọn pa yẹn. Ilé ayé náà ni o. So, ẹ̀yin Yorùbá politician, ẹ lè rò pé ọ̀dẹ̀ ni wá, ẹ lè rò pé òmùgọ̀ ni wá, bọ̀ kò ń ṣàwa la máa dé pẹ̀lú yín tó pọ̀ jù. Àwọn tó ń support Nàìjíríà, àwọn gangan ló máa dé pẹ̀lú yín. Àwọn tó ń support Nàìjíríà, and that's why the DSS, every one of them, they are scared. They've left us to our own. Àwọn eléyìí ò tí ojú táwọn fi ń wú àwọn pípé tẹ́lẹ̀ kó dà fáwọn eléyìí ẹ̀ láyà ó jágbajàgba Kóìkì tó kọ̀ pariwo yẹn pẹ̀lú. I mean, that's the impression of the DSS. Now their focus is now on the Nigerians that are ready to destroy Nigeria from internal. And there could be Igbo people, there could be Yoruba people, there could be Hausa people. So even if we are pointing our heart and mind because of the hatred that in Igbo and all destroy, don't be surprised that you don't know what the North might want to do just to destabilize what is about to start. They have the connection, they have the money. They can erupt anything. But don't expect Atiku to come and tell you, oh man, destroy Nigeria. You think Atiku is happy? Lọ́kàn ara yín ṣẹ́yìn fipá Atiku wà happy pé kó òun kọ́ lòun win. Ṣé Atiku máa jáde máa sọ fún mi pé òun máa destroy Nigeria? Kò ní jáde. Ṣé Peter Obi máa jáde máa sọ fún mi pé òun máa destroy Nigeria? So we now have not just the Biafra, not just the Yoruba, we now also have the PDP, the Labour Party, and the others that everybody is now saying, this country, if you give them this country, this could happen. Kò ń ṣàwọn Igbo nìkan ló ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Nítorí pé hatred táwa ní fáwọn Igbo la ṣe ń put narrative yẹn pé àwọn ló fi wá destroy Nigeria. Even MK will destroy Nigeria. Ṣé ọmọ Igbo lẹ́ MK Abiola? Èyí gbogbo alámọ̀ pé MK Abiola destroy Nigeria. Everybody knows that now. Ìbí Yorùbá ní MK Abiola. Ṣé MK Abiola destroy Nigeria? Ẹyẹ parọ́ fúnra yín, ṣé MK Abiola destroy Nigeria? Òun ibi tó destroy Nigeria dé, òun iye èlé àti yín jẹ lẹ́yìn. But because hatred táwa náà ní sí mind wa pé Igbo fi gbalẹ̀ kan náà ni wọ́n agree, okay mo ti agree, but ṣé àwọn nìkan ló fi destroy? So ẹ fi pé Adamawa Atiku pé kò rẹ́dí pé bí wọ́n ní bí ṣeré ò ṣe kinní kan bí kinní kan ṣe àbí bá lọ sí máa ń pọ̀wé yẹn. Everybody knows that. But they're not going to come and tell you in the public, even going within their caucus, code Lama Fiso. So, but one thing is, the internal conflict, don't bet in Nigeria, or to your Yoruba nation, Colomonism. But our Oniswawa, iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n tẹ̀síwájú, àmàjáde, àwọn sọ fún yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ni there is fire on the mountain run òun lọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà o èmi ò ń ṣe wòlíì o sọ fún yín mo dẹ̀ ṣàfà mo dẹ̀ ṣe babaláwo pé kò ní sí sùúrù nínú Nàìjíríà yẹn irọ́ lápá ìgbà tó máa wáyé ìgbà tó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ àsìkò tó máa erupt òun làwọn èmi náà ní family lọ́hùn mò ń bẹ lẹ́dùnmarè kó má erupt kí àwọn olóṣèlú wa gbọ́ sí wa lẹ́nu ká jọ sọ̀rọ̀ ní tòbí ọmọlúàbí ká sọ fún north pé àṣe mọ́ ẹ lè dá Ìgbò dúró ẹ lè dá àwọn internal crisis tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní dúró. pé kò ní erupt yẹn ìgbà tó fi erupt láàmú ó dàbí volcano ni ta ló mọ tán pé volcano mo lè ṣọ́ ìmọ̀ lálẹ́ ilẹ̀ ti ṣú ẹ rán mi létí ẹ̀yin tájọ wà lórí program pé mo ní mo fi sọ̀rọ̀ nípa volcano máa ti ń rú láti ilẹ̀ but àwọn tó jẹ́ scientists àwọn geokìnìkan àwọn ṣe mọ̀ pé kọ́lọ̀mbà foríjì gbogbo àwọn tó kú ní Turkey ṣe mọ̀ pé the last time tọ́nà ríru earthquake bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn kan náà lọ́n bínú sí wọn ni ok tẹ́bá náà lọ́n bínú sí wọn ṣé lọ́n bínú sí Mẹ́kà náà ní gbogbo àwọn eṣinṣin kan ń dàbò bẹ̀. The world is changing energy move but earthquake yẹn wọ́n ní kíní yẹn tí ó ti ń erupt bọ̀ eruption Nigeria is erupting akàn la cement money à ń la cement money à ń bò tó bá la cement mọ́dá a polish it a present it to everybody but internally time bomb yẹn dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ explode kó erupt kí àwọn kan mí lè jáde nínú ẹ̀ so gbogbo àwọn tá a máa ń sọ pé a fẹ́ ká jà yẹn èmi náà fẹ́ jẹ́ ká jà but ìjà máa jẹ́ kó erupt ni at least àtẹ̀sí kọ́kọ́ gbé wa lọ sí another stage of interfere but tá a bá sọ pé àfẹ́jà then a máa nọ́ọ̀sì àwọn politicians wa ẹ máa nọ́ọ̀sì wọn èyí tẹ̀ wá ń lé èmi ò ní kankan tí mo fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn I don't have anything to offer them mo bọ̀ màá ní sìn ìwọ́n mo yé ní sìn so but concern wa ni pé tá a bá jẹ́ kó erupt ó dẹ̀ lè erupt without too much crisis and that is the people and ẹ rántí pé Nnamdi Kanu náà sọ ó níjọ́ táwọn tí wọ́n ní ilẹ̀ wọn tó bá ti lè understand kò síjà but how do we tell 3 million Yoruba people in tí Koiki sọ yìí òun lọ náà but pé mi ṣe ń sọ fún wọn Ṣèyí Mákindé ní no ẹ má dá Koiki lóhùn London ló wà pẹ̀lú family ẹ̀ ó fi dájà sílẹ̀ Sanwó-Olú náà sọ the same thing dàpadà wọ́n ò tọ́jú yín nílé ẹ wo kúkúrú pẹ́ bí àtọ́rí kò sí títì ní àpéjọ tẹ̀ try lórí burúkú gọ́vnà yín lógùn state ó ra kẹ̀kẹ́ márúwá ó sọ the ambulance gbogbo ilẹ̀ ṣàtìrí fídíò I don't have to play that video anymore gbogbo ilẹ̀ ti dáhùn fídíò yẹn wọ́n ń ṣe káàkiri ẹ mọ̀ òdítọ́ ṣe fún yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ ní títì náà ṣe ẹ máa dúpẹ́ fún gọ́vnà yín ó fún yín ní kẹ̀kẹ́ náà pẹ̀ ó convert sí ambulance at least ẹ bá pè wọ́n mo wàá mọ̀ bí ẹ bá wá pè wọ́n ní emergency lálẹ́ yìí bó ṣe ń wò mí wọ́n máa wá gbé ẹ àbí àárọ̀ nìkan náà operate because èmi ò mọ bí mọ́tò yẹn ṣe fi operate lálẹ́ òkè oníná díẹ̀ Nigeria is going to erupt eruption ni ò ní dáráyé but ó máa bí nǹkan tuntun jáde that's all I can say ó máa erupt ayé tá a wà yìí náà ni whether we like it or not 8 years tí ẹ lò tán yìí kọ́lọ̀njà lè rí 8 years yẹn lò pẹ̀lú government of a day ẹ gbọ́ òwe tí mo pa yẹn àpé mo mọ̀ wé pa dáadáa 8 years Buhari tí a lò tán yìí kọ́lọ̀njà tún lè rí irú 8 years yẹn lò without that eruption. Because bí Tinubu gan bá gbé àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tí kò jẹ́ kó gbé àwọn north sọ fún pé kí ló rò pé òun ṣe. So that eruption gangan ṣe fi jáde nísìnyí géèmù yẹn ṣe fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ nísìnyí géèmù yẹn tí ẹ̀yin rò pé ó máa please gbogbo wa fún èyí tí ẹ̀ ń believe in one Nigeria géèmù yẹn ṣe fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ nísìnyí another topic nìyẹn ànílè jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ó máa yọ la máa sùn ẹja gbọ́ ìdánsìn Ìgbòho kàlọ́sọ̀ ẹ má bínú pàdé nígbà kọ́ lálẹ́ mo kí gbogbo ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kan sí without mentioning all the names I can say everybody but it's 3 hours already mo mọ bí time yẹn ṣe lọ lálẹ́ normally man check ara mi tó bá ti di 2 hours but I think I was just in a different world entirely. Thank you so much. Odò agbéwà kò ní gbẹ̀dà bí bá jẹ́ mi náà ní ọ̀dàlẹ́bẹ̀ gbogbo tó yí mi ká pátá tójú ọ̀dàlẹ̀ máa ń rí pátápátá ní kí n rí tí ìbàdàn ti ń ṣọ̀dàlẹ̀ mo sọ fún yín látọdún mẹ́ta mo sùn ní máa ń dàtọ̀ aláì simple as that. So that's how far we can go. Let's just listen to our own brother, a father. Tí wọ́n bá ní irú mọ́tò méjì lára mọ́tò Ìgbòho ṣé wàá lè sacrifice ẹ̀ fún ìran Yorùbá pé wàá máa ṣe Yorùbá nation ẹlòmíì nísìn torí mọ́tò tó kọ̀ máa gbà ló ní òun ṣe Yorùbá nation.
ẹ má fojú ko eruku ata abẹ́ ń bẹ eruku ata tí o ti fojú ko àbáwọ̀ gbogbo Nàìjíríà ẹ má fojú ko ata ẹ lójú.
àmì ìlú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ó dàrọ.
ẹ má fojú ko eruku ata abẹ́ ń bẹ eruku ata tí o ti fojú ko àbáwọ̀ gbogbo Nàìjíríà. ẹ má fojú ko ata ẹ lójú.
Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. mo yọ ẹnì kankan sílẹ̀ òpó ní pátápátá ni mo kí ọ̀run ayọ̀ la máa sùn. Bye for now.